Goddamn. Salute to everybody, man. Welcome to the Extra Day. That's what it feels like today. It's like dragging, right? It's just like. It's so terrible out here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Obi-Wan Steph. So it's a Sunday, and boy, I just was out, man. I was out getting some things done and stopped out. Shout out to the Real Lioness guys. Obi-Wan Steph, the Real Lioness. So today's a very sunny day. So people are in a little mood, but you got to remember, I love people, but I don't like people. Does that make sense? Like, I love community, but I don't like residents. You know what that means? That basically means is that one side of the world in your community, quote unquote community. Why is it a community? Community has a lot to do. What's the name of that show that won all these Emmy Awards? What's the name of it? Somebody in the comments tell me. But anyway, community is. You ever watch TV shows from back in the day? And you remember the show 227? That was Community. Sandra, remember Sexy Sandra and Mary that sat in the window? Like, I'm pretty sure there's tons of shows back then, but Community, right? Unfortunately, community is very hard to come by these days, right? We're living in a society now where people are, for lack of words, very stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. I can't stand a stupid mother. I can't stand a dumb fuck, man. That's like my big, I just hate a stupid bastard. I really do. Because, let me tell you something about stupid people, right? Stupid people have access to things they shouldn't have access to. Right? So it's sort of like if for example, I got my oil changed today, right? Pause, right? And shout out to Wakanda. What up, Wakanda? And I'm a funny dude. Like, so where I go, you know what I'm saying? It's in Brooklyn, right? So my man be showing me the love. So what I do, some people may say, well, why would you go to Brooklyn to get your oil changed when you could go to Staten Island? Because my man in Brooklyn's gonna take care of me like nobody else is, because he, you know what I mean? He gonna do that extra love. I ain't gonna get into that, but he gonna show the love on my car, do whatever he do. So when the average person walks in, they don't have the privilege I got. Now the person that may have the privilege I have, like, for example, right, there was this little chick he was playing around with, like, yo, you can't let your dog in here. Nice looking chick. So I'm like, damn, who that? He like, he fucking with that. Niggas got side pieces. So he said that's his joint. I'm like, oh, shit. He said, you would have never known, right? I'm like, nah, I would have never known that. But what's dope about it, she got the same privilege I got. If anything, she got more. She probably gonna pay shit. You know what I mean? But I like that. That's... You gotta make me feel special. When I come from a city that used to be where if I had it, you didn't have it because you don't live here. You understand? Shout out to the Green Vicky guys. Right? So if you have something that I have, I don't want it anymore. Especially if it's something special. That's why I like the love, discounts, clubs, discount clubs. Anything that you don't have. That's just how I am. So, for example, like the housing market, right? When the housing market was exclusive, I was a part of that. But then when every hunky-dory clown nigga got it, then you don't tell nobody you own nothing. You know what I mean? Like, no, nigga, I rent a shack. You know what I mean? You know, I don't, and I know it's mean, but this is just me. And I think by the time this stream is over, you'll probably realize why I'm the way I am. I think I'm spoiled to that. Now, in my community, going to high school, middle school, we had some people were fly. The dudes dressed fly, the girls dressed fly. If you was a bum nigga, you was a resident. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't paying him no mind. He's a bum. But the community was a bunch of us, and we were together, and we was lit together. We did things together. We shared shit together. We were together. Now we live in a society where, he got it. I'm like, time to get rid of it. Time to put that shit in the closet. You know what I mean? My Jordans are a New York legendary style. And I don't wear Jordans anymore. I own them, but I don't wear them anymore. I literally don't wear them. I just keep them in the closet because now you got to the point now you got Mexicans wearing them shits. It's just bad. So girls are wearing them, kids are wearing them, you know what I mean? I'm an old nigga now. I just can't be seen with certain shit. Now, if a kid has something that I have, I'm like, you probably got a pair of those Yeezys, but you don't have as many pairs I got. You understand? Because you can't wear Yeezys every day. You know, your feet's gonna stink. They're gonna hurt. They're not an everyday sneaker. Jordans, you could wear them shits every day. So if a nigga got a pair of Yeezys, if you got one pair, I gotta have it 20 pair. You know, that's just how I am. So, but going to my man's spot, I noticed something, right? And it was just so crazy. So this good-looking woman walks in with a dog and shit like that. And she got a little Dodge, what is it? She had like a nice Dodge truck or whatever. Black truck. Truck was nice. So she came in or whatever. My man's making a joke with her. I didn't know he was fucking her, but there was a dude that was next to me, and he just started playing with his phone. This other fucking asshole next to me is playing with his phone. I'm like, yo, man. So I said, let me chill and not play with mines, right? Now at the time, no, my bad. This is the second time, because when I originally was there, I had to bring one of my other cars, but earlier I was on the phone with somebody, but this time I'm just chilling. So the more people that was on the phone, I'm like, I ain't gonna be on the phone, because I ain't really got nobody to talk to play this game, you know what I mean? This dude got his phone loud. You ever have somebody that got no earpiece, they got their shit all loud? This other bozo next to me, whatever. Nobody knows how to talk. You know, but everybody's nosy. So, I don't know. It's like one dude was watching the Iran situation with the war, and I'm just like, how you watching what the war's going on? Ain't nothing you could do about that shit. You're probably part of the bunch of the people of why we're at war. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of things that people just don't see. So it irritates me because as Axe Nathaniel, as NYC Nate, I don't like nobody to have nothing I got. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You fucked the bitch that I fucked with, you know what I mean? You had what I had. Some shit is beyond my control, but for the most part, I'm selfish when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Hold on. Wakanda says, hey Nate, I got a question. Last night, but passed out. How was the dating scene in Florida compared to New York? How you asked that question? Oh, you passed out when you asked the question. Oh, I said there's no difference. Pussy's everywhere, bro. There's no comparison. There's no comparison to Florida, nigga. If anything, the only difference is I don't know everybody in Florida. I know a lot of motherfuckers here, but pussy's everywhere. Pretty bitches is everywhere. It's universal. It's worldwide. Dating scene is great everywhere with all the single women. The problem is, like I said yesterday, y'all niggas just ain't shooting. Y'all ain't fucking none of these women. It ain't even the fact that y'all ain't fucking them. Y'all ain't trying to wife up nobody. Y'all ain't trying to link up. Y'all ain't getting no pussy. Y'all can't get a woman. Y'all ain't approaching women. So I don't know if I want to really get into all that today. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That shit was yesterday. You know what I mean? I don't even want to really get into that, but I'm just going to tell you like this. The true reality is that the dating scene is incredibly flourish. It's bubbling because there's women available, but you niggas just got to go fucking get it. That's it. So anyway, yeah, this just is. So I'm on some real, like, I think where I met with it, something has been switching. And I notice now that I don't like neighbors, right? You know, and this is no disrespect to God, because it's the 110 commandments, honor thy neighbor. I love community neighbors. I love neighbors. I got neighbors over here. I don't live here, but you know what I'm saying? I live here, but I don't live here, right? And I got more of a community block over here than where I live. Isn't that some crazy shit? So this particular spot, right? Shout out to Last Lori, right? I'm over here, and as I'm looking at these cameras, I'm like, yo, man, you know, we got love out here. You know what I'm saying? It's these people, man, watch your back. You know, if it snows, they're going to be out here shoveling your shit. Like, it's going to get taken care of. And you acknowledge that. They're going to make sure your grass is cut. They're going to make sure everybody's good. Now, I probably got one shithole on the block that's little, but everybody else, it doesn't even matter. I got one resident on the block and the rest is community. So let me explain to you what community is. Community is what, shout out to Jordan. What up, Jordan Atkins? Community is what we had in New York City. It's you. Let me give an example of what community is. Community is you're baking a cake and you're down to your last egg, but you need 3 eggs, but you don't want to go to the store, right? So you call your neighbor, like, you got 3 eggs? They're like, yeah, I'll be right over. And then boom, you need more? I haven't been using these eggs. Take the dozen. That's community. Community is, you know, listen, we're having something later, an event. We may be blocking your driveway. Not only do we welcome you to come through, but I'm just letting you know there's going to be a little crazy. Community is love and respect, awareness. Community is all of that. And I say this to say because the world that we're living in now, we ruined that. And that has been ruined worldwide. The internet, trolls fucked the whole game up. They got everything fucked up. And it's just not a good situation. But talking to my man is always a connection of, he shows the love. That's community. Like, I made sure I brought him a couple of, what's those things you drink? The Monster drinks. I bring him his Monster drinks. He just spread the love, make sure my windshield wipers, he gave me some free wind. I mean, yo, just love, man. Just a good motherfucker. He's just a real cat. And he always been this way. When I remember I was in the hospital when my appendix burst, he called me because he said he hasn't seen me around. He hasn't seen me around a shop that I used to hang around. And he's like, yo, you good? And I never forget that time. And this was about 12, 13 years ago, but a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So it is, shout out to, this is community. That's community. You know what I mean? Super chat. You know, community is love. Community is holding each other down, watching each other's back the way neighbors should do. So I love thy neighbor, but I don't like the resident. I don't like the resident that his life is to buy a house, buy a car, and think that he's part of the funky bunch, and we live on a block with all these people and nobody speaks to anybody. Nobody's in anybody's house. Nobody fucks with nobody. This one stays to themselves. Attention homeowners, I got some news for you. If you want to be left alone, never move into a house. That's the dumbest shit you can do. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, that's the level, the highest level of community, because everybody could watch you going in and out your house. You can't hide in a house, dummy. You can hide in an apartment. You niggas is so fucking stupid. So unless you live in a farm, like, you can't move into a block and have an attitude, and you got your 3 dirty fucking sons moving in with you, and you know they're gonna fucking ruin the block, or your 3 daughters, you know they're gonna ruin the block because they're gonna get 3 apes. You can't have that attitude. I know that you wanted to get a house, it was your biggest thing, but if you're not for the community, if you're not community driven, don't buy a fucking house. Just get the fuck out of here, nigga. And that's the problem. It's, community is for family, period. Community is for love. When you come through, you meet somebody, listen, how you doing? We new here. Just my name is so-and-so, bing, bing, bing. That's community. Community is when you go to school and the parents keep you on point. What's going on? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? How we can't be in a school and all the parents don't speak to each other. That's just insane. When I go into the schoolyard, nigga, for the most part, I speak. The one shit I don't speak to this black fucking ape that's in there, unfortunately. But I don't speak to him because I know he's not a community nigga. He's a resident. You know what I mean? It's just, and I could feel that because I have a fantastic judge of character. You know what I mean? So these things are all relative to what I'm saying. So a wise man asked me this question, and he was like, listen, Nate, I know you was speaking on a situation one day about New York City hip hop and how the DJs ruined it. And it was just interesting to me, and I want you to, break that down a little bit, man. So this is for him. So what has happened, shout out to Lonnie. Lonnie brought an amazing topic to me today too. Let me get into the cypher because y'all know where I was at yesterday. The video that we did prior to this brings me to this, right? So when I don't see black men building anymore. We don't, that's they don't make men like that anymore. Everything that happens when it's black, it ruins. The car culture, the club culture, even the house culture, they fuck everything up. If I see a whole bunch of niggas doing the same thing, then I got to get on to the next situation. You know what I mean? One way or another. Granted, a lot of niggas do podcasts, but I ain't tripping on that because ain't nobody doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But if they was, right? If they was, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be doing these things. You know what I mean? So shout out to Tyrone Church. Shout out to Green Vegan for that. I appreciate that. So as a community leader that I am, it's important for me to be in touch with the trends, the way things are moving. It's important for me to be highly aware of what's going on rather than I'm a leader because somebody thought a nigga got a cute face. We got a mayor here in New York, right? He ain't New York, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stizzy. Like, they voted him in because niggas didn't want two of the other previous candidates in. They didn't want him in because of some shit that they couldn't get over. I can't stand a bitch like that, a man that has an issue. Oh, he did this to women. It's like, nigga, you're a man. We know all about fucking minds is in the gutter. Like, if a man was zesty with women and getting some bullshit and they threw the case out, apparently they didn't hold no weight. It ain't like the nigga was raping nobody, but if a nigga was in there working in the office touching his woman's ass and they was fucking and she threw him under the bus and now she got a couple of dollars, it's no more a valid conversation. You know what I mean? So New York is now, back then, it was a community base, so we was really about how you do the job, what's this person's about, and is this person gonna embrace our community? So if you look at back in the day, for example, when David Dinkins was in the mayor back in the early 90s, when New York was flourishing money-wise, shit to do was amazing. Then we just started getting on some bozo shit and electing a nigga that we got now. So we got this corny ass nigga named Mandami, this fucking sandwich eating, Uber driving motherfucker, right? I don't understand New Yorkers now. New Yorkers have this thing where I don't know, like when we voted Mayor Adams in, they voted him in because he was an ex-cop. And it's like, all right, well, we're gonna have an ex-cop running the city? Like, y'all gotta make up your mind. Like, he's gonna be for the police if there's some shit. It's like, then this nigga had a scandal with Trump and all this, man, okay, once again, they mistake, right? Then prior to that, they had Bloomberg. Oh, we're gonna, well, I don't know if it was Bloomberg at the time, but let's just say it was No, it was the tall dude, the white dude. And I forgot his name, but he was in a game because He was this white man and they loved him, but then he was married to a black woman. Then you seen the racism where a lot of people didn't want to say it because these days niggas ain't. The thing is with New Yorkers, when they racist, they ain't gonna be blatant with it. They're gonna do it behind the scene. They ain't gonna just go up to a nigga and tell him you a black coon in his face because they know this ain't the 1940s. But that was the thing with him. He had a black wife with dreadlocks and all the above. Now the nigga ain't with the black wife. He ain't got, he got a black son with a big old afro, and now he's with the white young bitch right now. You know what I mean? Now that he's out the office. Prior to that, we had Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Mike Bloomberg is a billionaire. So New York there's a time where he wasn't looking at political things because now with the internet, they push politics on you. And it's a favoritism contest. Like if a nigga got a good looking beard, or he speaks eloquently, he's a good mayor. But they don't understand that politicians are all dirt. But if you're gonna choose the dirt, get the best of the dirt, right? It's the same way how I tell y'all with the caddy litter. If you're gonna get the litter, shout out to Anna. If you're gonna get the litter, put your hand, you're gonna grab cat shit, at least try to grab a pot of gold. Somebody may have dropped a Rolex in that motherfucking damn caddy litter. You get the treasure and that's where it comes. You clean that shit off and it's worth a fortune. So now what happens in this political system that we live in, and to get to New York in a second, what happens with people, it's about who gets to click. So if an individual, if they vote a nigga in that was, a celebrity, not a daytime talk, a reality show star, right? And he has this show called The Apprentice, and now they put this nigga in office, and now we at war right now, so be very careful right now because shit is about to get crazy in the U.S. They could talk about all the planes we got, all the bombs we got, all the missiles we got. It still ain't gonna stop a terrorist here, trust me. It ain't gonna stop it, okay? It's impossible to stop a terrorist. It's just like, you know what I mean? If a nigga's living here, son, and he's connected to that war and somebody killed one of his comrades, nigga, he gonna turn up. I mean, 9/11 was proof of that. You can't stop it. You can't stop what a person's gonna do. We can't control what a person's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just impossible. So now we live in this society where when they make a mistake, then they wanna sit and be where you at. So we could be, I'll give you an example. So we could be in the oil change spot, right? So the loser that was probably pro-Trump wants to sit down and watch Fox News or whatever they want to watch. Because, people that watch Fox are racist and people that watch MSNBC are a little more, legit. So now what ends up happening, you got to think on a mission of this person's going to come into my cipher. I may be on the phone, I may be chilling, I may just be minding my business, and now they want to sit there and talk about how crazy the fucking world is. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you, nigga? Don't talk to us. Shout out to Ken Thompson, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm the type of person where you got to do me a favor, man. Stay away from me. Don't talk to me. I'm not a friendly person. I'm friendly on a community basis. I'm not friendly to a resident. If you move next door to me and I don't like the way you look, we don't speak. But if you could be the ugliest motherfucker next door, you okay? With one eye, one leg, one head, half a head, I don't give a fuck. And if you are community based, we are gonna be friends. You understand? It's just that simple. Like, I don't know what you want to call it, but you know what I mean? I don't like people, but I love community. You understand? So I get at this to tell you from the level of when I tell you all to come out to New York City and come out there and enjoy, it's really about the geographical level of it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's visiting an incredible museum, a beautiful park, Central Park in the summertime. Darling, hang up. Darling, what are you doing? I'm gonna call you back. Hang up the phone. Mwah, mwah, mwah. She gonna cry. I'll call you back. Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be getting out of here after I finish this. But anyway, right? One of the biggest issues that I've learned is that we've been struggling here. And we've been struggling even more so since 2020. It's been awful, okay? New York City, if you want to give a glimpse of what the city was, we was everything. The whole golden era covered hip-hop. So hip-hop was born in 1972. Let's say I caught on to it around 82. Let's say I caught on to it at 82. So 82, 92, 2002, 2022. So you figure 30, 40 years I've been doing this shit, right? And it was a point where it got better. It just kept getting better and better and better and better and better, right? And now it's like we reached the top and it just never got back there. So I say this to say, if you invite me to a party in 2026, I have to painfully tell you and decline it. Like I don't want to be around people that party now. If you tell me, yo, we trying to do this trip to the Dominican Republic, I have to painfully decline. I don't like to travel with nobody that's been traveling since COVID at all. I don't want to be anywhere you're at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same because you're doing it. So this culture that I was born into, living here all my life, which I'm here physically as we speak, has always been a dynamic that be your own person, create your own thing. And if there was a community of people that did it, we didn't look the same, but we was of the same because we were, you know what I mean? We were stylish. Now a creator is a YouTube fucking platform owner. You know what I mean? So that's where we coming from. So everything gets diluted now. So now the culture of our clubs, dancing, the music that we had that actually kept us abroad of being the golden era and having venues, all of them are gone. There's not one legendary venue left in New York City. There's not one legendary venue left in the 5 boroughs of New York City. Not one. Okay, they're all buildings and hotels, buildings and hotels, buildings and hotels, buildings and hotels, building and hotels, buildings and hotels, building and hotels, right? So to me, you come to New York, the ambiance you're gonna hear the cabs, you're gonna see the Ubers, you're gonna see the people, the beautiful people. That part never gets old. Because when New York is empty, like it was during COVID, when they locked down, it was empty, like nobody on the street, it was weird. It looked like Armageddon. So that never gets old. So now it's better to enjoy the city just by, let's take a walk and go on the subway and then walk back downtown. That's a vibe. Rather than, I got this spot, we should go to tonight. I'm like, man, I really want to bother with that. It's not the same. It's going to be overpriced. It's going to cost a fortune. It ain't going to do the job. And it doesn't feel good. And now I got tickets on my car. It may have gotten towed. It just ain't fun no more. So these politicians systematically have been destroying the city. Because now what happens is politicians, their goal is they're in a position to make things happen. So you have a mayor, you have a council person, you have a district attorney, and you got criminal laws, you have these type of laws, and you want to build something. You may have some fire warrants on the building, but you got a connection with the mayor's office, and we got to get past this because I got this building, I got these Turkish people with me from Turkey that's putting all this money behind me because I'm a council person. I know the mayor, and we just do the under the table thing and make money. Now we have social media, niggas is getting caught. We got a lot of cameras, a lot of surveillance. We got all these iPhones, all these AI. It's hard for niggas to make money. But in the process of it, the city is taking a hit we ain't coming back. 9/11 hit us. We never came back from that. And it happened here, out my window, right? So COVID hits, almost 20 years later, boom. We never came back from that, right? We just never came back from that. Now we got situations now where no bullshit, like the mayor race was coming. I knew Eric Adams wasn't gonna get it. And Eric Adams is a real nigga, just a Brooklyn nigga that happened to be a mayor. But I fuck with the nigga because at the end of the day, he had, even with his bullshit with Trump and him getting caught up in that nonsense, Trump bailed him out. And I like the fact that Trump bailed him out. So people should have said, if the nigga bailed Trump out of a situation, let the nigga finish his other 4 years, because we don't need no new face. But they go get this sandwich making fucking chopped cheese motherfucker named Mandami, and they don't understand. This is where I know New York lost its swag. Like, if you go to somebody's building and you got an Indian nigga, no cab, right? And you got an Indian security guard, and your friend, your friend's upstairs, your phone is off, the intercom is not working, she told me to be here. That Indian fucking guard is not gonna let you in the building. Them niggas is dicks. If you call American Express right now and you have a problem and an Indian man answers the phone, he's gonna be an asshole. That's just how they are. So this name comes out of nowhere. Like, man, damn, who the fuck is this? And you know what I'm saying? So we had the mayor that's trying to get reelected, but he fucked up with the whole Trump thing and everybody thought he sold out. And then we had the governor's son that got fired because he had a scandal. He was the governor of New York, and he used to be the governor of New York. So Cuomo got fired, got replaced by this woman, and I thought he would be perfect. He said he got the experience, he got the cut. I mean, the nigga gets paid $2 million a year to be a private consultant to other politicians, right? So all these things, you have to connect the dots. New York City puts this nigga in the fucking office, man. I remember me saying, I said, yo, they just gonna keep ruining this shit. Every 4 years, the city gonna keep taking a dump. We get hit with this massive snowstorm. He brought all this bad luck in the fucking city, right? All these bum niggas downtown Manhattan started throwing snowballs at the cops, which is assault. I'm not a fan of cops, nigga, but Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna throw a snowball at no fucking police officer. I'm just not, instead of these little clown niggas taking the shit to the hood and throwing the fucking, the snowballs at all these baby making machine niggas, they started throwing the shit to the police. And the nigga Mandami was like, in the video, he doesn't see a big deal. He just sees kids throwing snowballs. It was a snowball fight. I'm like, yo, my man. Most niggas is like, I don't understand it. These niggas is grown niggas. Kids these days is 40 fucking years old, right? They're throwing in fucking, Washington Square Park. Look it up on Google, look it up on YouTube. They throwing mad snowballs at the cops. The cops gotta walk away, because if one of them cops, like me, I would have fucking shot and throw a bullet in the fucking crowd. Especially one of the niggas that threw it. You hit me with a snowball, nigga, on the street in my fucking face, I'm gonna shoot you. So how is it that you a cop? You know why? Because you know the cop can't do nothing, because you're recording it. Back in the days, they would have never did that shit to a police officer, because we'd have all these fucking cameras, because they know them unmarked cops would have beat the shit out of one of them niggas. So, again, the new mayor didn't see nothing wrong with that. So, now he got a problem. Now we're supposed to hire extra 5,000 police, which we need because that black shithole gonna be crazy this summer. Because all the shit we dealing with now with this storm, nobody's coming out their house, nobody could come out. Niggas, when it's first nice day, they're gonna fucking make it a disaster. They're gonna destroy shit. He doesn't want to put 5,000 cops. I tell you right now, a month, 2 months into the game, this nigga's he's gonna be a problem. I told everybody this. But these are the same people that will come to you and complain. Yo, it's just fucked up out here. It's a different temperature. It's just like, yeah, but you the one that fucked it up. You part of this shit. You part of the show because a nigga got a nice looking beard and a fresh haircut because you got a problem with the other one. This is the problem with New Yorkers. New Yorkers are not New Yorkers anymore. They pussies. They follow shit. So how this whole situation connects to the hip hop shit? New York City, we don't have a sound no more. We don't have an image anymore. You know what I mean? We don't have the originality no more. We're known for everything from the past. It's sort of like living in Brooklyn and you're like, yeah, I'm a Brooklyn boy. You live in Florida. Knowing when you lived out there, or I was out there in the 70s, 80s, all right, so he was out there during the time where it meant something. But he could run with that shit even though he's walking around in fucking Florida with slippers, with flip-flops and a t-shirt. He's going on the strength of what it was built. But if you come to Brooklyn right now, unless you in the hood, developers took this shit over. It ain't a scary borough no more. Yeah, the element's still here. A lot of these little fucking dirty niggas are still here, but it's still not what it used to be. As a matter of fact, it's an affordable Manhattan. You know, if Manhattan cost you $1 trillion, you could do Brooklyn for $1 billion. It's still expensive, right? So now what's happening? We're not building anything. There's no only thing we building is houses and hotels. We're not building no communities. We're not building no culture. We're not building anything. All the 5 boroughs, niggas, people are moving to the South, moving to the Midwest. They're getting rid of their fucking property, cashing out, because we make big money on our properties here. So it's getting diluted. All those buildings downtown in 9/11 that was once office buildings are all residential now. You know what I mean? Residential. So all people do is go outside, shop, eat, and go the fuck home. You know? Even when they do eat on a sidewalk at a restaurant, they're eating everything. There's nothing to do. They walk their dogs, you know, now at nighttime they probably fuck somebody, whatever, but there's no connection. So what happened with New York City as far as an artistry, something happened. I don't know who the fuck did this. Funkmaster Flex, #1, became a program director literally 2 years ago. Just remember where I'm going with that. Funkmaster Flex was on the radio in Hot 97 in that building. I think there was a 395 Hudson. I think they moved, but whatever. He's been on Hot 97 in the same radio slot since like 92. Hot 97 used to be a white boy station. It used to be like some WKTU shit. And Funk Flex used to be a KTU type of DJ. You know, that black guy that plays white music? A lot of people don't know that. Yes, he does. He did grow up. He was inspired from Red Alert and all these legendary DJs, but something happened that we had before. Now, my part coming up in the game, we had New York legendary DJs. We had New York legendary radio personality. We didn't have a nigga from Florida. We didn't have a nigga from Texas. We had niggas that was born and raised here. Calvin said, Nate, did Jay-Z and the Nets build affordable housing? No, that's a lie, total myth. Jay-Z's not that rich. Jay-Z's not that rich. Shaq got more money. I would believe it more if Shaq did that. But Jay-Z is not. The Russians own the Barclays Center. Jay-Z he owned like 1% at the time. He sold that. He don't got no pull like that. Jews run Brooklyn. Jay-Z doesn't run Brooklyn. People got to get that out their mind. You know, you got trillionaire Jews out here. Jay-Z's just a billionaire. It's through his wife. You know what I mean? So, but moving along, right? What happened with New York became, I don't know what happened, man, but something happened in early 2000, right? The Dipset. And I remember this. I was working with this dude in 96 in his job in Midtown. I remember he was a blood from L.A. Me and this nigga, I ain't gonna say his name, but straight up and down big homie. But he had a job. The nigga had the beret on his head, the whole, you know what I mean? He had the fucking hat, the red suit, used to come to the work all the time, bloody. And that nigga told me, watch, that Blood and Crip shit's gonna come to New York and watch these niggas follow. He told me, he predicted that in 1996. I swear to God. I will never forget that. We was working at this company called Northern Leeson. I will never forget that. And that was the homie, you know what I mean? That was the nigga that was showing me the ropes to the job, whatever, you know, bang, bang, bang. But anyway, the Dipset, something happened with Cameron, because Cameron's part of that shit too. Cameron is like Jim Jones. Jim Jones and Cameron, they went to private schools like Jadakiss. They ain't no real street niggas. These niggas came up with they mommy. You know, they didn't have a daddy. And, you know, they was little boys that was raised with their mother. And Cameron went from this happy-go-lucky rapper like him and Mace. Mace and them niggas started speaking. Cameron jumped on a couple of tracks with Biggie. The West Coast War started. Feel me on this. West Coast War started 96, 97, right? I introduced a lot of niggas to the West Coast in 92 because I was fucking with NWA. Big mistake. Anyway, the game got fucked up. They killed Biggie. They killed Pac. It was a disaster. New York City got their pussy wet from that. They jumped on these niggas' dicks from LA. They went crazy. Like, nobody did shit. No, listen, if this had been the gangs from the 1960s, 70s, they would have went out there and killed niggas. They would have went to war. That's just the type of breed of men that was out there. That's the same way how the soldier is. You see how these niggas on them fucking F-16s and on them fighter jets? I'm a fighter jet fanatic. You want me to lose my mind? Show me a pilot, a female pilot pushing a fighter jet and running from the missiles. That you know what I mean? I'm gonna lose my mind. I'll probably screaming here. Like that's the ultimate fucking machine to me is a fucking fighter jet. But anyway, these niggas go to the war. Like we going to war, nigga. We saluting. We get on that plane. We gonna tear shit up. That's what a fucking warriors do. That's what gangs did. That's what all them gangs did in the 1960s and 60s in New York, right? LA grabbed the shit, caught our wind of the gang. Because remember, before we had Blood and Crips, we had all these gangs in fucking New York City and New York. So New York City, LA was always a copycat of New York. But New York, for some strange, funny reason, they was digging the swag of these West Coast niggas. They really was. And I ain't gonna lie, I was too. Like the MC8, the MC Rens, Ice-T. Ice-T's from Jersey, but he grew up in LA. Eazy-E, I said, Dr. Dre, Snoop. These niggas came out and they started blowing in 92, 93. Fucked New York hip hop up, fucked the New York culture up, brought that gangster shit, did exactly what they wanted to do to New York City hip hop because they hated us. New York, now I'm paraphrasing, I'm giving you the quick version of this. New York loses Biggie, didn't do a fucking thing about it, right? They killed Pac on the West Coast, dumped his ass on the West Coast. They killed him in fucking Nevada. It was a nigga from over there, which was crazy, but we would have never did that. A New Yorker would have never killed an LA rapper, nevertheless a Brooklyn rapper at that magnitude that time. It wasn't an option. We were having rap battles. We may shoot at each other, but we're not gonna kill the person. So back then, we had Angie Martinez. She was on Hot 97. Flex was on Hot 97. We had DJ K-Slick. We had some legendary artists, Marley Marl, Red Alert, and there was a lot of New York DJs that should have been on the radio, but now they have to do this Breakfast Club shit and breakfast morning shows, so they need a radio personality. Now, follow me. There was this dickhead. Can somebody tell me the name? What's the dude's name? He had a radio show in New York. And I remember when Aaliyah died, he made a joke about it. And they made a joke with the plane flying. What was the name of the two people? He got a YouTube channel now, but they abolished him. What is the name of that fucking clown nigga? Can somebody tell me his name? Oh man, I can't remember. Not Ebro. He's actually a New Yorker, but I'm gonna tell you where it went. He was doing New York radio, right? Morning shows are more effective than Star and Buck Wild. Thank you. Yes. Yes, thank you, Calvin. So Star came in with that Charlemagne shit, dragging niggas, telling niggas to suck they dick in the middle of an interview. Like, he was crazy. The one thing I was thinking, this nigga Star, Brooklyn nigga, I said, yo, he sound like a goofy nigga, but I think this nigga Star was going. Anyway, they made this joke of Aaliyah when the day after Aaliyah died. That Monday morning, I'll never forget it, because Aaliyah died on a Saturday. That Monday morning that Aaliyah died, Star and Buck Wild had a morning radio show. The nigga Star made a joke about it with this thing, and then they took him off the radio. All right, Diddy, Jay-Z, all them niggas got the nigga off the New York radio. They were having a hard time. They was bringing all these different radio personalities. Back then, you had to audition for it, so nobody was really knowing what to do. We didn't have social media. We had MySpace, right? They fucking bring Ebro. Ebro is from the fucking Bay Area in California. They bring Ebro to Hot 97 as a program director. Do you hear what I'm saying here? They brought listen to where I'm going with this, man. They brought a dude from the West Coast. Now, somebody could go deep on this story, but I'm giving you the layouts of, hey, he's right about the timeline. They bring a West Coast nigga to New York radio, not as radio personality, as a program director. He directs the program. You know what the fuck he did? He brought the mumble rap in here, all that Atlanta shit. Nobody was really popping from LA at the time other than Game, right? When I tell you, New York was already sucking all the West Coast dicks as it was. Ebro came over here, directed the program, was in charge with all the 10 to 15, 20 records they was playing all day, every day. And he started hallucinating us with this sound of the South, right? He brings in mumble rap called the Dirty South. I'll never forget this. It was the Dirty South era. Right? This is after PD Pablo, you know, the real Dirty South shit, where now these niggas was taking over hip hop. Because now the only artist we had at the time was Dipset, and Dipset tried to get on some California shit, and instead they was on some Blood and Crip shit, but then the thing is, there was some blood shit, but the problem with them was, instead of rocking red, they was rocking pink. Instead of them wearing blue and looking like LA niggas and dirty with the Jerry curl, they was wearing, you know, undergarments with the fucking, you know, wallets with the chains. These niggas was on some fashion Harlem shit. So it became, they changed the game. It's the same thing how that guy told me in 96, that Blood and Crip shit's gonna come to New York and watch they gonna follow. He knew New York was gonna follow that shit. I don't know how he knew, but he predicted it and it happened. Cameron and them came up there with that goofy fucking Dipset shit. None of them niggas was gangster. None of them. None of them. Most of the gangster niggas was sitting in Harlem from that movie Paid in Full. And those was real gangsters. Half of the niggas is dead today. You know what I mean? Alpo and all them niggas snitching and all that. Them niggas, Alpo was like, oh, he was a snitch, but he still went to jail for 25 bodies, nigga. Like, and he still came home after 25 years, but he was a killer. At the end of the day, it was an act. So now we had Dipset flowing. We got a program director. New York hip hop now is losing its sound. All of these Atlanta niggas is killing the game. The Midwest, motherfucking Wheezy, Baby, Cash Money, all them niggas started taking over. And what did New York do? This breed of New Yorkers, they started sucking all these niggas' dicks. Nobody was on some creative shit. So, mind you how long that is. Listen to where I'm going with this. 2023. Ebro loses the job at iHeartRadio or Hot 97, to say the least, right? Don't quote me on iHeart, but Hot 97, I think it was Emmis Communications, loses the job as program director. Now, prior to this, Angie Martinez then left Hot 97 10 years ago and went over to fucking 105. So, you know, as legendary as she was, she sold out and went over there to fucking 105. During that time, remember, Wendy Williams came back to New York. Ebro was still the program director, okay? WBLS and Hot 97 is, I think it was Hot 97 or 98.7, I believe. They lost that 98.7. They got rid of that. But Wendy Williams came to BLS, to backtrack a little bit, brought in a sidekick called Charlemagne. She puts this nigga on. She gets a deal with the VH1. She has him as his sidekick. She loses the show, gets an offer for a big fucking TV show. She gets on daytime television. She left Charlemagne. She couldn't bring him. The nigga Charlemagne gets on 105.1, explodes. They have a few because the nigga Charlemagne basically got in what he fit in. Wendy Williams and Kevin brought this nigga from South Carolina. So now we got a South Carolina radio personality. We got a nigga from the fucking West Coast running our programming for over 20 years. The more they're running it, the more and more we're losing our edge, right? We have no real New York. Oh, what about Envy? Envy's not a real New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he lives here. He lives in Jersey. Like, he lives in Jersey. Yeah, he's from Queens, but he's not legendary. He can't really talk about none of the legendary clubs. He's too young. He wasn't spending none of that shit. He comes from a silver spoon. Family always had money. He's not the person. Angela Yee was probably more of a New Yorker than all of them. She came up with Wu-Tang. She was part of a lot of culture on the series. She worked with Eminem. She was putting her foot in the door, but nobody paid her no mind because New Yorkers now, they started getting on this damn chatty patty shit and started sucking Charlemagne's dick. So now they sucking these West Coast niggas' dicks, Dipset's dicks, South dicks, and now they going with the chatty patty shit. We lost our edge. Ebro loses the job as program director. Funkmaster Flex jumps into position in 2024, 25. He's been program director for 2-3 years. Flex has been on Hot 97 for like 40 fucking years. We need somebody new. Yes, he knows his shit. He is a New Yorker, but he's a dick sucker and a dick rider too. You understand? He don't get along with Jay-Z. Him and Jay-Z hate each other, but Jay-Z can't do shit to him because he's a radio nigga. So, you know, he got a lot of power. The current situation now, all of these artists that once represented New York City don't make music no more. They got podcasts. Lord Jamar, he's from the old school. Fabulous, Jim Jones, Cameron, Fat Joe, Jadakiss, all these niggas is following Charlemagne. So now we don't have no new music from these artists. It ain't like the South where these niggas, South niggas are like niggas from Jamaica. They be making music in their 60s. You still got my man from the Bay. What's my man from the Bay? The fat nigga with the glasses. He still makes music. Too Short still makes music. You know what I mean? None of these niggas is making music now. They all doing podcasts. So now, what is New York known for when the last of the official goons, the last of the official gangsters, the last of the official music, yeah, E40, thank you, baby. E40. E40 is a monument of the West Coast of the Bay Area. When you think of the Bay, we think of E40. We think of the Bay, you think of Too Short. When you think of New York, who do you think of? 50 Cent, he lives in Texas. Well, what about Jay-Z? Jay-Z lives in California. Jay-Z and Beyonce doesn't live in New York anymore. These niggas is rich. The taxes here will kill them. We have the highest taxes in the United States. So we said Big Boy had a radio. show out in the West. Right, Big Boy does have a radio show out in the West, but Big Boy is a California nigga, right? Respectfully, I like Big Boy as a matter of fact. Big Boy is a California nigga doing California radio, California podcast, California everything. We got one New Yorker doing radio in the whole 5 boroughs. One. We have one radio, and he calls himself personality. You know, he's a fucking DJ. Same shit, but Funkmaster Flex is all we got. This nigga Flex, he's good at what he does. I like it when he drags niggas and do all that shit, but he's a cornball. Flex now is the program director. He been in there for 2-3 years, and he can't even get the radio station back. So, Ebro gets demoted. Ebro gets demoted from program director after the damage was fucking profusely done. They put Ebro on a morning show. Well, he had the morning show for a minute, but now he loses the program director. So him and Laura Stiles, this one Spanish chick, and the white boy, corny ass white boy, I forgot his name, that wants to be black. He had his little Thursday night old school hip hop, but nobody gives a fuck about. The only white boy we pay attention to hip hop is Eminem, so nobody gives a fuck about nobody else, right? So the nigga, they do this morning show. Guess who has the biggest morning show in the United States? Who has the biggest morning show right now? Charlamagne from the Breakfast Club. South Carolina country rapist. This nigga raped his wife. Look it up. Charlamagne raped his wife. That's how he got with her. Charlamagne had an accusation that he put a Mickey in a chick's drink. And they got the audacity for Charlamagne to do an interview with fucking Diddy. How come Charlamagne's not locked up? How come Charlamagne couldn't do a radio when the Dirty South was hot inside? Why the fuck did he come up here? Because you know why? The opportunity was up here in New York. Why? 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 After the damage been done, currently now, we have this morning show. The Hot 97 couldn't even keep up with the country bumpkin. They got a nigga from the Bay fucking area. They can't let him go. Doing a morning show on Hot 97, the same time slot as Charlamagne and them 2 other donkeys on the fucking show. Charlamagne leaves the nigga in the dust. Breakfast Club is winning. They got the celebrities, they have all the interviews, they got all the celebrities, the interviews are better, and it is. Charlamagne interviews are better than listening to fucking Ebro. Ebro starts to get on some kumbaya, pro-black shit, and you know what them Jews said? Okay, because you know Jews own the fucking radio station. Oh, you do know that, right? You know Jews own Hot 97. You know Jews own 98.7 Kiss. You know they own BLS. You know we don't own shit. Ebro gets fired 2 months ago. They fired him in December. They fired fucking Ebro. They fired Laura Stiles and Rosenberg. That was the guys that they fired him. There's no morning show now, right? So they got Funkmaster Flex doing the morning show. Nobody wanted to hear this nigga 7 o'clock in the fucking morning screaming and talk about what's on your stereo, all the above. They were looking for somebody. They bring this clown. Oh my God. You know, DeMiro and DeSeuss, New Yorkers. Instead of these people looking at New York radio and getting on the internet and looking at people such as myself and really talking to somebody that old-timer niggas such as me, a nigga that's a historian, a nigga that knew all the blocks, knew who was getting money back then, all the clubs, all the legendary clubs, all the legendary fashion from day one. They go by the nigga with the clicks now. So they hire DeMiro, whatever his fucking name is. They get a crew of 3 people that's supposed to be from New York, and it's just like, who are they? There's no personality. Niggas ain't lit, niggas ain't fly, niggas ain't talking the slang. This is embarrassing. It is 2026. We have never came back. That nigga Ebro fucked us. Instead of this nigga staying on his side of town. They're like, well, Nate, what about Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey's over here. Steve Harvey's not from New York. He has a syndicated show on BLS in the morning show. All right? You know why? Because they threw him out of California. You know why? Because Steve Harvey had a scandal over there. Y'all didn't know that? There was a scandal with a woman. They got him. He had to get the fuck out of there. So they sent him over here to this dump. And Steve Harvey probably been here for like 16 seasons, at least 20 seasons by now. He not from California, not from New York. Why is he over? He's from West Virginia. Why is his morning show based out of New York City? The only New York real good DJ we have is probably Vaughn Harper, The Quiet Storm at night. And that's 10 o'clock. That's R&B. We talking old school shit. That shit I be playing. So where's the New York luster at? You think you're going to come here like, yo, I'm going to bring you to a club? There's no club. They're all gone. All of the legendary clubs have ceased in New York City. Gone. Every last one of them. I don't care if it's a fucking bar. Gone. We have no monumental culture left at all. Nothing. Wearing Jordans is not New York. Wearing starter coats is not New York. It's universal now. There's nothing we have that's ours anymore. Because the people that were the trailblazers, they didn't allow in. You know, instead of these people having a real audition and making a person a star, when they used to do that, they want the person that's established. They got DeMiro or that clown on the radio doing the morning show. I'm telling you right now, if Rosenberg and Ebro could not pull that off, nobody's gonna you can't pull off a New York-based show unless you get a historian from New York. Even if the historian's gonna be in his 40s, he gotta be able to know the history, because there's a lot of niggas in New York still, a whole lot of old timers, niggas in their 50s, 60s, 70s that know the fucking art. They do. A whole lot. I was just listening to one the other day. These guys are dudes that you may see from Queens. They probably fat and bald and funny, but don't look at what they look like. Just listen to what they're talking about, because they're going to talk about history. That's what we had with Rest in Peace to Kay Slay. You know, that's what we had when we had Fat Man Scoop. We had these DJs that were either turning the party up or they know how to play records. Hold on 1 second. Oh, that's a problem. My man, what's up, big bro? You know what? It is funny. I told my man I got all those. Look, watch this. I just told your cousin that I got all the damn receipts. That I got them all for you here. But I gotta separate you before I leave. But you know what I'm saying? Everything good? Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for taking care of everything here. It means a lot. Because we got a neighbor over there. You know that guy next door? To me. At the other house? Okay. Okay, you know what the other house that y'all go to cut the grass? Not this one, my other one. My other one. You know, you go there sometimes with, he does. Oh, yeah, sometimes. Oh, right. Sometimes you go. The guy's moving. And that's his client. He's moving. He put the house on sale. Yes, they told me yesterday. I said, how you gonna tell me yesterday, bro? You ain't told me this a few months. He told me yesterday, and they got an open house. People come in and look at his stuff. So I gotta tell him about that. But still, the point of the matter is, man, too much happening. So I just want to tell you, I thank you for taking care of keeping things together. But we got work to do in the summer. I got to do little things over here. But you know what I'm saying? Anything you see that you need that needs to get done, let me know. So I can take care of this. Once this weather gets warm, we're going to take care of this shit. All right? Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. All right, bro. Oh, fuck. Sorry about that. Oh, shit. So now it's just black for now. Hold on. Fuck it. I think that shit broke. That's all right. I got another one. So, testing 1, 2. The fuck? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So, pardon me. I think one of my lights just fucking broke on me, but I'll deal with that. So anyway, all these situations are an example of what I talk about with community. New York City shot themselves in the foot because they started going everywhere else but home. They were following everybody. They was following the trend. We were following everybody else because we started seeing these movies. We started seeing these different images in the South, whether it was Master P, whether it was Lil Wayne and Cash Money, and that fucked us up. And all these Southern niggas, they don't give us no credit. You know, they don't put us on no records. We want to put all of them on records. Lil Wayne came here and scooped up New York rappers. He grabbed Nicki Minaj. He went and grabbed Drake from Canada. So we're not doing that. LL Cool J and these niggas is not doing none of that shit anymore, but there's guys LL Cool J's age that's around that still count on legendary status. There's individuals such as in that group of men that need to be doing these radio shows to educate people, but now New York, now we got this thing with old age and young people don't do, it's all fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? New York's actually think 30 years old is young, and that's an old fuck in the South, you know what I mean? So there's no division. I mean, there's division, there's no community, it's all just residents of the culture, and that's why New York City is no longer what it used to be. Again, if you come visit me, you're gonna like the ambiance and the landscape of the city. Yes, you're gonna enjoy that. I could show you, you know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But at the end of the day, I could probably show you just as good of a location in the middle of Jersey, in Middlesex County, that's a country. It's just, it's you're here, and it's gonna be based on history. It's gonna be based on what did 9/11 happen. 9/11 fucked the game up. You know, we never rebuilt down there. That's just nothing but a memorial. It's dead. As we speak, it's dead down there. Mariah Carey got a place down there, and nobody lived in the financial district back then, but now everybody got scared. They made all those damn properties residential down there because all the companies got scared, which rightfully they did. We lost over 2,000 people in that fucking World Trade killing, bombing. You understand? So don't let people fool you, man. It's washed up here. And New York radio fucking ruined it out here. They ruined it. New York radio demolished New York City. That's why it's so finished out here. That's why when you see people break all this down about this black doesn't look bad, right? I like that. That's why when you seeing people break all this down about, oh, New York this, and you watching guys like the representation. Oh, Nate, when I watched the show with Jim Jones and Mano, that's not New York. Those niggas is all washed up old niggas trying to be relevant. That's not what we about. In order to learn New York, you probably got to listen to the older nigga with the hat to the side, with the big old pot belly, telling you about the game because he was there as a historian. He's the one that could really teach you the real history. He's the one that they're not giving radio play to. They're not giving a slot. You know, there's no reason why Marley Marl and Red Alert should not be doing a 4-hour show a day. That's terrible. You have to have, when you come from a city, you got to have people that's part of that city. You know, if it's going to be a person, like in other words, I remember years ago, this dude offered me a job with somebody else to do this job as a radio host in Texas. I don't know nothing about Texas, nigga. I can't do a radio show in fucking New Jersey. It has to be done here. You know what I mean? You can't do a show in Staten Island and bring somebody from Brooklyn to do it. Even that close, you can't do that. They have to be a Staten Island historian with personality. You know, they want the personality, meaning that you're able to bring in the crowd, you're able to, have personality. You know, you're able to be smooth and fun and charismatic and educate, laugh at the same time. So when you bring in guests in, your guests are able to connect with that. If I'm able to bring in Omar Epps, and I'm living in Jersey City, or any of these actors from Jersey City, or Joe Buttons. If you're going to do Joe Buttons radio, Joe Buttons is from Jersey City. He's not a New Yorker. That's what we have to stop. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm telling you, Ken, this shit is done out here. It ain't nothing happening. Granted, now on another flip note, we do got the best looking woman in the world. Why? Because it's a melting pot. That's the only reason why. It's not because they just look better. It's because we have all race and nationality bundled up in one city. That's why. It's big for that reason. It's not big for any other reason. What do you say? Hey, yes, I've seen the shift in New York City, been struggling for the last 25 years. So fuck Cameron, fuck Fabulous, fuck Jim Jones, fuck Noriega, fuck all them niggas, fuck the Drink Champs. All them shows are fucking garbage. Garbage. Yes, Noriega's from Left Rack City, aka Iraq. He was a hood, a thug or whatever, and he had a nice little movement with his group, Capone and Noriega, but these niggas is chatty patty niggas now. This nigga ruined Kanye West's fucking career. It happened on his show. Some people are like, well, Kanye ruined. No, he ruined it, nigga, because he knew what he was asking. He knew what he was putting out. I wouldn't have interviewed Kanye and put out that anti-Semitic thing. I wouldn't have did that. Period. To many Jewish people as I know, I would have edited that out. He posted it. They doing this radio show in Miami, nigga. Like, they was doing it here before. That's crazy. It's just done. You know what I mean? So there ain't nothing happening. Niggas could talk all that like, yo, Jim Jones, we rep New York. Them niggas is all washed up, man. All of them. You can't make a record. What's the point? At least Bobby Brown could still do a record. At least they're on tour performing their old hits, right? Jim Jones, nobody's gonna pay Jim Jones all that money to be singing fucking one single, Fly High. They're not. If you hire Mano to come to your show, what are you hiring him to do? What hits does he have? At least Nicki Minaj, as crazy as she is, she's still profitable. She got tons of hits. She still could go on a world tour and stop making records today. She doesn't need to be doing what she's doing. You know what I mean? She chooses to do that shit. She doesn't need to be, but you're watching her. And Noriega, I mean, come on, these niggas ain't make a record since 98. What is the last record that Nori made? But he's as relevant as today. Every time he interviews a hip-hop celebrity. Even when the hip-hop celebrities that are from the old school, they got caught up with this bullshit. Nobody want to hear Lord Jamar talk anymore. He think the world is flat. So they finished him. Comedy's done. Okay, your boy, since he went on that Shannon Sharp shit and told Cat Williams, has not been funny since. He's using screens in his shows now. He can't even have his memory right. He has to literally put a screen up to do a joke. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's not a stand-up comedian. It's done. So is it about a New Yorker like we from New York? Yeah, historically, yes, that still matters. You know what I mean? But if you speaking in terms of like coming up in here and I'm gonna move to New York and turn up, only thing you could turn up here is your wallet. That's it. Because you're gonna make more money here. Whatever you're getting paid in California, Texas, Atlanta, you're gonna make triple the amount here. If you getting rid of garbage and you working for your county to get rid of garbage, and that's what you do is pick up people's garbage for a living, you come here, you're gonna make a fortune. All year round. That's the difference. The money's here. Everybody makes money here. Our minimum wage is $17 an hour. Okay, they paying niggas right now to shovel the snow for $30 an hour. Like, we got the money here. The money's here. That's another thing. Thank you, Green Vegan. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot that. So now you got gentrification, which we mentioned as far as the buildings and hotel. Gentrification. We got out-of-town radio personality, out-of-town radio DJs, and it's lost its luster. New Yorkers don't want to be here no more. They don't want to be here. But the ones that's left, these are the ones that should be running the radio. Don't look at them. They're probably physically not good to look at, but they would have an awesome show because there's tons of that. There's a lot of niggas in Queens, a lot of niggas in Brooklyn, a lot of niggas in the Bronx that's still here. Nobody want to hear Curtis Blow. They rather hear Doug DeMuro and all them fucking clowns. They rather hear Charlemagne. He's the people's choice. They don't want to hear Lovebug Starsky talk about when Alpo came in and had the first 8 Series BMW. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear his opinion of how he thinks. What does he think about these things that we're hearing about going on in our society? They don't care about nothing else. You know, and gentrification is something that takes over all the United States because there's to a point now where the architecture to these buildings all look the same. Like it's crazy. Joey Badass, that's not New York. You know, Remy Ma's not New York no more because Papoose then went out and sold out for some Midwest bitch. It's nothing left. Nicki Minaj ain't New York no more because we don't do that. We don't sell out and go with the fucking cracker. Jay-Z's a New York nigga, but Jay-Z's sensitive. He's a prima donna. You know what I mean? We don't have nothing no more. It's dead. You know? A LA nigga could come here and kill a New York rapper. New York won't do a fucking thing about it. They won't do shit. They couldn't do this in the 80s. Couldn't do this in the 70s or 60s. They'll kill him. Not now. They'll give him a red carpet. A blood coming from California to New York, that's like a pope coming to New York in the hood. They love that. They suck. They just love LA. It's done. So you got a New York nigga coming to you like, yo, I'm from New York, whatever. That's a whole bunch of mess. What is you gotta say? What does it mean? Pop Smoke, yeah, they killed Pop Smoke out there viciously. Ain't none of them Brooklyn niggas did shit. Brooklyn niggas back in the 80s, they would have came out there and tore niggas up. They would have killed somebody. There was a glimpse of it. I knew that Pac was gonna die, but technically Diddy did that. Diddy killed Pac. And Diddy from Harlem. Diddy killed Pac. He had Pac killed. Niggas be sleeping on Diddy. Diddy got some murder in his blood. His father was like that. But he's gone. We ain't got no remix, nigga. We ain't got no good R&B. It's done. Right now, New York right now is for flaming niggas. Like, if you a flaming nigga, you could just go back and forth to Atlanta and New York all day and just fuck mad niggas. If you into thug niggas, pretty niggas, niggas that be on some thug shit with they Timberlands, and you gay, you can have a ball in this motherfucker. Because these niggas love fucking punks. They love it. They couldn't walk the street back 25 years ago. You kidding me? They would be in a designated area. Now they in the hood. With pink fur boots, heels, all types of shit. It's over. Ain't nothing left here. So what is left is what we holding on to. We got no community. We got nothing but residents. You know, gentrification is not a community. That's a residence. You know, podcast, that's not a community. It's not a talent to sit there and a whole bunch of rappers that are artists sitting there talking all fucking day about nothing. That's crazy. It's different if you're sitting there talking with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis because they talk about their artistry. That's all. You know, when you listen to any of these podcasts, they talk about propaganda. And these niggas are rappers. Jadakiss doesn't have a personality. What about Fat Joe has a personality? He does, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, these niggas don't talk about their artistry. They talk about a whole bunch of war stories and they interview everybody and they jump on everybody else's dick. If you talk to Sade or you in the room with Janet Jackson and they're gonna talk about the music, the craft. What was you thinking when you made this song? How about this record? It was a very good time. They're gonna give you a long story on how this record got together. That's entirely different. That's artistry. These old rap artists now, they talk about propaganda. Cameron started doing the thing with Mace. They started doing a damn sports show. I don't even fuck with sports, but it was dope that they were doing that. And he stopped doing that. Revolt gave him a big deal, and now he's in there talking about propaganda. You know what I mean? They can't even do a concert with Dipset no more because they don't get along. And that's what people want to see. People want to see, shout out to Don Jamar, goddamn. Salute. People want to see their performers perform. I don't care if it's Avant. I don't care if it's Jim Jones or the Dipset. They want to see them perform. They want to see Fabulous perform. They want to see Dave East perform. They don't want to see these niggas sitting down on the couch and all they got is a whole bunch of male groupies watching them. Girls may watch them because they probably attracted to Fab or Mano or one of them niggas, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, these niggas is bored. They're not in the studio anymore. They ain't making no music, and if they making music, it ain't going no fucking where. Nicki Minaj, she should be interviewed as an artist, not telling people to go suck a dick and this, Don Lemon, like that. You're not supposed to be doing it. Granted, 50 does that, that's his lane, that's different. That's what 50 does. He came into the game as a troll. He was never a good artist because he came in as a troll. But nobody wants to listen to Ja Rule because Ja Rule's going to be on the damn thing complaining about how great life is, how much money he's making, and he don't fuck with 50. We tired of hearing that. Why don't we talk about how you and Ashanti are going to make a new record? We need new music. So when people too old to rap, well, if they too old to rap and you just gonna get a podcast, that's a pretty sad thing. Why where's the allure of an artist that you able to say? Even a DJ here, a legendary DJ got stories. We want to hear stories. We want to hear things. My man right here said that one of the big things he likes to hear is when I share a story. As I was never a rap artist, but if I was a rap artist, I think you should interview artists about artistry. You know what I mean? Don't do the propaganda. We want to know when you came up, when you wrote this. You understand what I'm saying? Something different. All these podcasts are the same. You asking them, we should name your top 5 rappers because you want to know your favorite rappers. That shit is, man. It's over here. We lost 98.7. We only got 2 radio stations left in New York. And that's 105.1 and Hot 97. And who's on there? Angie Martinez, all she do is interview Mary J. Blige every fucking week. And she interviews Jim Jones 5 times a week. Like, she's a groupie. And this woman is a historian. She's a hip-hop historian. She actually worked with Lil' Kim. They did records with these people. She remembered the day when Pac got killed. She remembered the day when Nas and Jay-Z had their battle, and Nas and Jay-Z came to the studio. I remember all that. But she can't even share none of these stories because she's part of a new station. They should get rid of her. She ain't the only Puerto Rican woman in the game that is a historian here. I know a lot of them moved to Florida, but goddamn, there's people that still here that still apply that we need. And I think people need to give that chance. Like, if you audition, if any of these record companies are listening, that's why it ain't working. Hot 97 is going to go out of business. I'm telling you, they're next. They're on their way out. Because they don't have anybody. They only got one person, Flex. There's nothing there. He's not going to hire no radio personality because he's not going to lose his job. And now that he's the program director, I mean, that's like making LL Cool J the program director. LL Cool J got his station on Sirius Satellite, but what does that mean? He fucking sucks now. His interviews are garbage. He's on steroids now because Method Man looks better than him. It's all fucked up. You see Method Man on these damn things, all he talking about is his depression. These niggas ain't even trying. How are these rappers sitting at these podcasts and the podcast creators ain't even making them feel any better? I don't know, man. So that's the size of it. I hope I answered. If you got any questions, feel free. Yuck Mouse has a show. He still tours. Yeah, but Yuck Mouth is not New York. He's underground. That don't count. Underground don't hold no weight here. Mainstream. These niggas I'm talking about are mainstream niggas. A lot of people don't know who Yuck Mouth is. I do, but a lot of people don't know him. Is it true that Houston is the next Atlanta? That's a good question. I heard that. But it's only the next Atlanta with the gay men. Atlanta is Atlanta for gay men. It's not Atlanta for hip hop. The gays popped that place. Gays make it famous. Gays made San Francisco famous. So I don't know. I don't know if the gays are moving out there. I don't know if their lifestyle out there is moving out there strong, but you got to ask a gay man. A gay man could tell you the next place. Said they don't even want a New York chick anymore. Nah, that's not true, Ken. I'm gonna tell you why that's not true. That's not true because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's from New York or it doesn't even matter. Like, to be a New Yorker don't hold weight no more. Not like that. Because there ain't a lot of niggas that's like me and what other woman could we use as an example? I don't have a good New York woman to represent. Calvin said, may I remember Def Jam, start Def Jam South. That never went anywhere. Ludacris, that shit was old. That shit ain't going nowhere. Ludacris was his own, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The gays can. They determine where the next spot is. The gays are the gentrifiers. The gays are the trendsetters now. The gays are the designers. The gays are the fashion divas. They determine that shit. That's right. We said New York meets them and they turned Hollywood and turned their backs on New York. Right. So all of the monumental, not everybody's gone, but all of the trailblazers of New York, most of them have moved throughout the United States. They're everywhere. So it loses its edge that way. You know, you got to remember, you lose community like that, right? If you have a community and everybody sold their house, it's no longer a community now. You're just going to have a whole bunch of people buying shit, developers, and then it just becomes a residence. They just want to know, is there a residence in the house or is there not? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to shoot the question before I leave. I don't want to miss anything here. So what's good about New York? I mean, again, accessibility. You can date all you want. You can meet the man you want, the girl you want. I mean, it's a mecca still for that. I mean, people are still here. It's not like it's not like it's a desert. But it ain't like, you know what I mean? You make more money here. I don't know if you'll be happier here because I don't know if money makes you happy. Calvin said, see the interview with Jay-Z, said there's nothing to rap about now. Jay-Z's probably right. You know, as a New York rapper, they ain't. But Drake's still rapping about something. You got to remember, Jay-Z was rapping about shit now being the best. Nobody could fuck with him. Yeah. We heard that a million times. What's he going to rap about now? You know, this nigga lives in Los Angeles with his big mansion and superstar wife and 3-4 kids. I mean, it's over. You know, it's different. It's not what it used to be. I know niggas that moved to Jersey and they still represent New York, but that's a conflict of interest, nigga. Like, we don't have the same mayor. Like, I probably know your town better than you know it. I know Jersey well, but I probably know your township better than you know it. I be asking these niggas like, so, you know, do you know where so-and-so in Jersey? They don't know. I don't. Ask them, are you close to this? You close to that? What county you in? They don't even know the name of their fucking county. I know niggas that live in Jersey that still get their haircuts out here. It's all fucked up. And all this has to do for a cheap house. Niggas don't move for a better life. They move for the cheaper house. They know they can't afford the house here, so they go to Jersey and get it for cheaper. It is cheaper. Niggas, look at Ice-T's wife. Ice-T is, they got the lifestyle house, but she's on the internet all day. That's all she does. She's bored out of her fucking mind. All she does is make content showing her ass and titties. That's all she does, because she's bored. Yeah, there's still a couple of exclusive clubs out here. I'm not going to say there's no clubs at all, but the legendary clubs that built New York are gone. They're tall high-rises now. New York right now, it's sad to say, is nothing but a developer's fucking squat nest. That's it. That's all it is. They're just waiting for you to die to fucking tear your house down to build up another building. That's all. They throw a park in there every now and then, but they ain't really trying to build nothing here. They just want that shit for the rich people to have something to live and eat. That's it. You know, we don't dance. We're not making, New York hasn't made a new beat. We don't have a new genre of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, and don't get it fucked up. I'm not saying just because niggas are from out of town, they don't make good music now. They make a lot of good music, but New York ain't fucking with one of them niggas. We got a couple artists now that are coming up, and the Southern niggas is grabbing. They got this guy named Zeddy Will, and he just did a song with your man. What's the dude from North Carolina, the rapping nigga? He get busy. I forgot his name, but he just did a record with him. Like, shit like that is dope. I like to see that, because that wasn't happening before. Southern niggas would never fuck with us. How do you feel about the Jamaica Avenue Coliseum closing down? Once again, another legendary monument gone. Ain't a black man bought that shit. No, Nas didn't buy that. He bought a bullshit casino. He should have bought that. You know what they're going to do to the Coliseum? They're going to tear that shit down this week and build a building and hotels. J. Cole is a fan of the culture. He's a rapper, but he's not a New Yorker. He's just a North Carolina rapper that you can understand what he's saying. He ain't your typical. The niggas don't understand that J. Cole's a country rapper. Niggas don't understand that Chris Brown's a country singer. He's from Virginia. So we just forget that shit because we look at hip hop like, ooh, like, nah. I mean, I think J. Cole's dope, but he ain't fucking with Drake. I don't think nobody fucking with Drake right now. Nobody. And that's coming from a New Yorker. Nobody fucking with that nigga. No one. We haven't made nothing new. I remember when Drake did this song and he did this part with Aaron Hall. I miss you. I miss you. I'm talking about my babe. I'm like, yo, what was on your mind to put this together? That's what I like about Drake. Drake pays homage in his music to fucking hip hop. That's what I love about Drake. They can say what they want about him, man. Drake is the nigga. You would love to hate Drake. Drake is... Man, I miss Jam Master Jay. Right, Jam Master Jay, if he was alive, he needed to have a radio show. And you can't have a good radio show with your program directors telling you all these fucking dumb rules. So you got to go to Sirius Satellite. Even satellite radio's full of shit because there's groupies over there. All them radio personalities on satellite radio, I got satellite radio. It's terrible. The music's good. The personality's terrible. Groupies, especially the women. They're worse than the men. Groupies. Yeah, give me a hug. Thank you, January. Give me a hug. So the nigga Drake makes this song, Give Me a Hug. You know, it's a little older, but I sat there and listened. He had like 4 songs in one song. Drake is an incredible fucking artist, man. I'm telling you. We need more Drakes. Drake is... They could say NBA young boy, then nobody fucking with that nigga Drake. Nobody. Drake is the epitome of the current situation. Because whatever he does, it's the current time. He don't fuck with it, it's old. And Aaron Hall should have been in the video, but he fucking escaped that crazy drug addict. This nigga escaped. It's almost like he heard the song and left. They just found him. Now that the song is old. Give me a hug, give me a hug. That shit is crazy, man. Like, I know hip-hop very, very well, man. And I'm going to tell you something. Underground hip-hop, you know, it's cool, battle rap. But, you know, you can't dance to battle rap. We need shit for the ladies, shit for the niggas, you know what I'm saying? You on your fly shit with a nice car and you got you a bad bitch in the passenger seat, you going to pump that Drake shit. So he got shit for the streets. He got shit for the club. He got shit for the ladies. He's a triple threat. Drake like the modern day LL Cool J. I don't even think LL Cool J in his prime could fuck with what Drake is doing. Because the thing is with LL, LL had an image, but now Meth took that. Method Man took that. He ain't the ladies' man. Nobody want to see LL's old ass on the stage no more. They rather see Method Man, right? And then if you look at you got to remember where let's not get it twisted. LL Cool J is a hip hop historian. Where he was, it's just you can't compare. It's like LL was at the top of his game for where he needed to be, but this nigga Drake is a R&B singer, a rapper, and an actor. That's crazy. Drake is so powerful, they don't even want to see him in movies because his publicist may feel that may water his shit down. I agree with that. He shouldn't even do a movie. I don't give a fuck if he's in Sinners. He can't be in a movie because it'll fuck up his career. His career is so tedious, man, that they can't play with that nigga. When you doing songs with fucking Chris Brown and you a rapper, he can't dance, you know what I mean? He can't dance. The only thing he can't do, but he's still a triple threat. He actually has R&B songs that he's singing through the whole fucking songs. It's crazy, yo. But yeah, what LL was back then, yes, Drake is that. You know what I mean? Like, without taking his shirt off. LL's problem is he's like a lot of old niggas. He's trying to rebirth what he was, and you can't do it that way. You got to reinvent. See, what happened with Method Man, he ain't trying to be what he was because he was a bum before. You know, LL has to go further. He doesn't know how to go forward like a lot of old niggas. They get stuck. They get fat, old, and ugly, and they don't know how to lose that look, and then they want a bitch that's 16 years old. It's crazy to me, but LL Cool J has done your grandfather now, nigga. You can't be licking your motherfucking lips, nigga, and taking your shirt off at 60 years old. It's just not gangster. You know, Method Man's, even though Method Man's a grandfather, he doesn't have the image of a grandfather. LL Cool J looks like a grandfather. And he hasn't accepted it. And you could tell because he doesn't want to lose it. You know, some niggas want to hold on to that shit. Now you got all these niggas putting the fake teeth. Them veneers make you look older because they look like false teeth. You can't wear veneers without makeup. So if you're a man, why you get veneers? You got to have makeup on every day just for it to look right. You know, you got this face that, you got teeth that's 2 days old and you got a face that's 48. Shit's just crazy. That's dangerous. JP said, Nate, some people forgot that Drake was an actor before a musician. That's right. But music in the DNA bloodline. But if you write about, you said about Drake musician, there not too many do. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I wanted to be a nigga to say, fuck that nigga Drake, you know? I wanted to be that guy because he's from Canada. I'm like, you know what I mean? You know me, I'm like, but I can't even do it. That nigga's a problem. Every fucking time he makes an album, man, it's just, I can't listen to a Drake album all the way through. I can't take him like that, but it'll just be like 2-3 songs where it's just like, this fucking guy won't stop. He won't stop, man. And all these artists from New York that are the trailblazers, they allow that to go. It's very disappointing, man. So I look at things different here, you know what I'm saying? But that's where we at with it. So if you come here and visit and you just want to see New York and go around, well, go on a tour, right? And call me when you finish. Come to the studio, we'll chop it up, do a podcast, but you know what I mean? Well, Nate, what if I want you to show me around? We could do that. That's cool. But don't expect a lot, you know what I mean? We can't pop up at family members' houses. Most of my family don't want to be bothered no more. Niggas is going through depression. They got the millennials living in a fucking house. You know, you don't want to be around that. It stinks in there, you know what I mean? But he said Drake's father is a blues singer from Memphis, I think. Well, the reality is Drake's father's black, you know, and his mother's white. And that's just showing you that, you know, J. Cole's mother is white too. And J. Cole's dope, but he ain't fucking with Drake. Can't fuck with that nigga. No, sir. The two biggest rappers alive when it comes to respect would be Jay-Z, because on the age level, he's that guy. I'm not going to take that away from him. And Drake. Yeah. Drake dad is from Memphis, Tennessee. That means he was a pimp. From Memphis, that's the land of the players. That's like being from the Bay. I love artists, man, that, like, in other words, we wouldn't have had a 50-year-old fucking rapper 25 years ago. There was no such thing, right? So now we do. So it's known that we can keep making, you know what I'm saying? Every 10 years, a rapper should be able to make a mark, like, so other people can, you know, we make a longer wait. So let's say when I was a kid, rap started at 21. There was no such thing as a 35-year-old rapper. That was a granddaddy. And now that's a young rapper. Nobody wants to hear no crisscross rapper 16 no more, right? Think about it. Nobody ain't no fucking kid rapper. So the kids are eliminated. Just to think, like R&B artists when I was a kid was 15, 16 years old, New Edition. All them artists, LL Cool J was 18. You know, these niggas they were older than me, but they were still children. But a young rapper now is like 25, 21. There ain't no rapper that's hot in high school. Does anybody know a female rapper that's hot out of high school that's mainstream? Yeah. New York hip-hop, right? That's why they say hip-hop is dead, because they're not saying hip-hop is dead. New York City hip-hop is dead. That shit is gone. Gone. Cardi B, yeah, she's a Bronx rapper. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. Cardi be getting it in. I ain't gonna front. I like some of her shit. I don't like her, but I like the fact that she got a Bronx feel to her. She'd making more records than Remy did. But then we got Ice Spice. Like, come on, man. You got all these old niggas now with fake beards on them and shit. Don't want to get old. Niggas is dyeing their hair. It's just off. It's sad. And the crazy thing about Jim Jones's podcast, all them niggas is losers. They all suck. All of them suck. They ain't doing nothing with their library of music. They're not doing nothing. I don't even think they're touring. You know what? Fabulous should be popping on the stage with Tamia, but he's not doing that. He'd rather just sit there and have a microphone and make money. And you can't blame him. These niggas is getting paid to sit down and put a microphone to their fucking face. They ain't got to write records, produce shit, do videos, and they ain't got to, these niggas just getting money. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, what you say? My family is there too. Everything's messed up. Thought it was only me. Yeah, what did Ken say about the yeah, women are everywhere, man. So the good thing about it for a man is it's a male paradise. There's women all over the fucking damn earth. And they're bored out of their mind. You gotta move different now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people are out here, it ain't no more community, so it's every man for themselves. So don't get close to a motherfucker that's not community. Don't ever do that. If you got a neighbor that's on some resident shit, don't fuck with him. But if you got a neighbor that's on some community shit, embrace that. That's a gift. You don't need to be around that resident because he the one that's going to tell you, I bought this house, I ain't going to let nobody move here, and the next day he going to put a whole bunch of fucking bums in there and rent it out. Don't trust that. Stay away from residential minds. People that that care about the community, they care. But if you thinking on a residential level, you ain't no different than nutty as fucking developers. You just gonna, you don't care. You're not gonna care. If you have a residential mindset, you don't care about community. Yeah, as a politician, you talk the talk and be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're gonna get this in and do this for the schools, and the politicians put it out and everybody sucks it up, and then they fuck you up the ass. I'm telling you. Yep, true facts. Don't fuck with that. You know, I always say, you know, as we move around and we doing the things we do, like, why would I be here? I wouldn't be here if I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm not going to be here because it's the next trend. This is what I've been like this all my life. Anybody that listens to me, that knew me for 20, 30 years, 40 years ago, gonna be like, oh, he been like that all his life. They just seeing it with this. It's like, they ain't nothing. Nate been like that all his fucking life. He been opinionated. He's always been expressive, and he always had a very unique mindset. That ain't nothing new. I just got the tools to put it out. But you see your favorite rapper, you're like, damn, son, they gave you $2 million to fucking talk? I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. It's just they not people. If you're gonna look at me on a click basis, yeah, you're not gonna know who I am. But you let me do a morning show, let me pick the 2 women and see if we don't turn that shit up. And I ain't just talking to talk. I'm telling you, because we forced to listen to what we listen to. Listen, the Breakfast Club used to be really good at one time. It was. When Charlamagne was on his bullshit, that was good. But now, that nigga's like a fucking, he's annoying. You know, all these niggas are sitting on that show, live in Jersey. Then they got, what you call this whack ass up there, what's her name? Jess Hilarious? Oh my gosh. She's painful, man. She sucks. And the other girl that used to be on TMZ, she's whack now too because she's part of them. I like that better on TMZ as a contributor. But you know, too much political shit on TMZ because of that fucking host. He's a political demon. The game is just fucked up now. You know what I mean? Now you get on the. If I had a morning show, I ain't gonna say what I would do. But if I had a morning show, it'd be nothing like Charlamagne's. You're gonna want to watch that shit every fucking week. You're gonna want to listen to it. You're gonna want to be in your car going to work listening to that shit every day. Charlamagne doesn't have a broadcast voice. Even at least what you call it has a broadcast voice because he's a real DJ. Envy has a broadcast voice, but Charlamagne doesn't have a broadcast. He's got a squeaky voice that's fucking annoying. Jess Hilarious doesn't have. She shouldn't even be doing radio. They put her there because of clicks, for the clickbait, because she has a following. And the other girl, whatever her name is, you know what I mean? Like, she just needs to have her own fucking show or her own podcast and talk her sensible shit instead of doing all that celebrity sleuth through the Breakfast Club. I think she could just do that all by herself. Not with all motherfuckers there. They all got 4 microphones. That's crazy. She had 1 microphone when she was on TMZ. Now, if you come here to New York as a non-New Yorker, yeah, New York women are a lot more harder to deal with. I ain't gonna lie about that, but that about it. You know, but you black men start pushing a different narrative. Nigga, just start telling women I'm looking for a fucking wife. Believe me when I tell you, and be serious with it. Trust me when I tell you, your whole shit will change. Do they play music on the Breakfast Club? Yes. So you figure like on the Breakfast Club, they play music, so they got the DJ, and he ain't really a good DJ because the DJ on the Breakfast Club is the program directors. They have to play these 10 songs in rotation all day. It's not like unless they're doing like a rush hour at 5 where you got DJ Enough mixing songs. They fired him. They fired DJ Enough. They got rid of fucking Ebro's whack ass. The station's all fucked up. And now that Funkmaster Flex got all that control, it's the Funk Flex station. I don't fuck with it. My daughter likes it. I hate it. I can't stand to hear the sound of his voice. He is not us. He's a goofball. He's an old ass goofball nigga that, you know, there's niggas that's his age that you would never believe it because he's too immature. You know, when you have radio DJs and radio personalities, you're supposed to have a man that has a woman that got a what you call it voice. This some of my subscribers have a media voice. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a media voice. You have to have that broadcast voice. I got a broadcast voice. I know I do. So you need that. So you got the broadcast voice, you got the personality, the show gets a shit on, you get guests in there, they have fun, you interview them without getting too deep, but I remember niggas didn't want to sit in the seat with Charlamagne, and when niggas were scared for that nigga to interview him because he was a fucking savage, but Then when niggas try to beat his ass up and he ran like a little pussy, I ain't saying you running for your life if niggas is trying to beat you up. I get it. You ain't got no hammer on you. But ain't no New York nigga would have did that. No hardcore New York nigga would have ever did that. Niggas wasn't going to be running after no DMX at his fucking prime. A real street nigga like that, hell no. They know Charlamagne's a pussy. That's why they did that. It wasn't flex on them niggas, but then at the end of the day, he's from the country. I'm not saying niggas pussy from the country, but Charlamagne is from a part of North Carolina, and he's a New York radio DJ. It's just like, why don't he just? I don't know. I don't know why Wendy Williams even brought him here. And now she's out of the fucking game, and he's in. You know, but that was karma for her, because all that shit came back and fucking got her. Her Coney Jersey ass. She went down to Philly. Then she came back to New York radio. When Diddy fired her from New York, she went down to Philly, came back to New York, did her thing, got on drugs again, got her own show, got the TV deal, and she started blowing that coke and dope again, and that was it. She folded. Charlamagne fucking exploded and kept going. Charlamagne's a junkie too, but he takes anti-meds. Antidepressant meds. I heard he has to take them to do the show just to get through the show, because he has a lot of bad mental anxiety. Very bad. Very, very bad. He can't be in a room by himself. He can't be on a show. He's all fucked up. But he's a puppet, because they know at the end of the day, he's the biggest name in propaganda. Libby, if I ran New York, I was T.I. getting chased by those kids. I mean, listen, man, if niggas is chasing you, nigga, and you running for your life, it ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just, the thing is with Charlamagne, his situation was who he was. And he's this troll dragging all these niggas in his fucking, making little mama cry, fucking niggas up in the hot seat. And then when he got pressed, he ran. So that's why it was an issue. It wasn't like they ran up on Vaughn Harper. They ran up on Charlamagne's big man. That's like niggas running up on 50. Like, you can't be dragging niggas like that and not expect that shit not to happen. You know? There's only 4 dudes, Charlamagne. 4 dudes is a lot of niggas, but it ain't a lot of niggas if you, listen, if you a nigga that's on the radio hurting everybody's feelings when they get in the seat with you, you gotta expect that. He didn't have no bodyguard, and that's why it looked bad. He never gonna live that down. That's the time they should have shipped his ass back to the South. But New York's whack ass kept him. I don't know who his boss is over there, but he ain't working for Hot 97. Wendy Williams brought him in on Hot 97. He started on Hot 97 because Wendy Williams was there. I know Charlamagne's whole story because Kevin, my ex-girlfriend, used to work with Kevin, Wendy's husband. She was real close to Kevin. Listen, don't get it twisted. There's still a lot of official niggas in New York that you're going to see here that you will never see nowhere in the world. That still applies. But they ain't on no podcast. You got to be in a party that was an event, that was a special event and happened to see like, yo, you see bro there, it still exists, but you just ain't going to see that shit on no social media platform with nobody. And every now and then, if you happen to see it, it's probably going to be on a small channel because niggas is doing a podcast in their basement out of Queens and Brooklyn. It'll be that one nigga that's like, you know what I mean? But you're not going to see no mainstream fly nigga from New York on social media. They all busters. Not going to see it. It actually goes against their privileges. Like, they not going to even put themselves out there like that. So they're always talking about police and the breakfast. But the Breakfast Club, Calvin, is supposed to do what it do. It's a clown show. It's a morning show. Is a clown show. You hear Steve Harvey show, it's a clown show. You hear these others clown, they play pranks. They're supposed to be doing that. But the thing is, in black culture, nobody has stayed the mental life of time that used to troll people the way Charlamagne did. That's how he got famous. He could ask a question to Chris Brown and say, is it true that you beat up Rihanna because she ain't suck your dick that day? He would ask her that in his prime, out of nowhere. And the publicist is sitting there all fucked up because the publicist told him not to do it, and he's gonna do it anyway. That's what Charlamagne was known to do. He don't do that anymore. He stopped doing that. So people now are going on the strength of what Charlamagne used to be. You look at Charlamagne's, look at all them classic interviews of the Breakfast Club. It's because of Charlamagne. Because Charlamagne was a dick. And he said Star was his damn fucking hero. Star and Buck Wild, Star was the one he looked up to. Star and Howard Stern. He talks about that all the time. Star and Howard Stern. Those are the people he looked up to. So Charlamagne is not one of us. DJ Envy's not one of us. Okay, Angie Martinez, nobody on New York radio is one of us anymore. There's nobody left. All the greats is either dead or they just not doing radio. They're not here. So New York is finished. It's done. If you want to come here, you want the visuals of a city that don't sleep, having the accessibility of a real high-paced city, yes, that part, you know what I mean? But you coming here like this is based on the 90s? Nah, them days is over. You got to go to Jersey for that. You know, you could move in a small community in Jersey and really have a community and really have a cool. But listen, one of my homegirls, she lives in Brooklyn now, right? Her whole building, they do this thing on WhatsApp, and that's community right there. Everybody is on WhatsApp, and they talking about what goes on in the building. So they be on point. If there's one bum nigga sitting in front who ain't supposed to be there, the whole fucking building knows about it in one text. That's community. We should have that on social media, but niggas can't do that. I remember when Fredro Starr was about to, that's nothing. Shout out to Kareem. You know how many episodes that Charlamagne almost got the ass kicked out of him? Fredro Starr wouldn't have really did nothing, you know what I mean? But I felt it was more deeper with him where Beyonce's father was just like, this guy's a retard. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas was really he used to get niggas riled up. You know, the Fredro, the one I seen that, but Fredro was just trying to intimidate him. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes a nigga try to intimidate you. And Charlamagne, when you intimidate him, you're gonna feel like a pussy because you intimidating the pussy niggas, so like there's no flex in that. Like, he's gonna get scared and now you're gonna feel bad and it just looks awkward. Like, I can't put fear in a nigga's heart and he's scared to death of me and he's showing it. And he's saying, please don't do nothing. You know, where's the flex on that? It ain't like Charlamagne's no big nigga and you making it look any bad, you know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of interviews that Charlamagne had with people where they pressed him. Yeah, I remember when Lil' Kim was pressing fucking Envy, called that nigga a pussy, like, you sold me out to Nicki Minaj, you know? That was some pussy shit, like, there was a lot, man, you know? But again, it's that's not us. You know what I mean? Because if I was doing a show like that, I would have never did that, number one. So if that's what y'all like, that wouldn't have happened. But, you know what I'm saying? It would have, like, you would have learned so much about New York City through my morning show. Get it, man. You would want to visit that shit, you know what I mean? But ain't nothing to talk about now, so ain't nothing happening. It's a Sunday night. Yes, there's a couple of exclusive clubs tonight, but it's going to cost you a fortune. It's going to cost you like $100 to get in. You got to get a VIP table. They're going to want $1,000 for that. For what? Like, you know what I mean? At that point, you might as well just meet, like I told y'all, you know, you could meet a woman in Costco's or Walmart in New York or Jersey, and you could meet a chick in fucking damn Connecticut. It's still going to be a pretty bitch. If anything, you bet off with the girl in Connecticut because she lives up there where it's dead. You understand what I'm saying? She don't got shit to do. Small towns are the best with pretty women because they're bored. But you from New York, or they gonna jump on your dick like, come to my city. She see a tall building or two. Oh wow, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? But she gonna have fun with me. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna be like, oh wow, New York is lit. I need to move there. Like, yeah, it's lit on a level of, you know what I mean? There's a lot of action going on, but you know what I mean? We lost a lot. We lost a lot in 9/11. We lost a lot in COVID. We lost a lot with gentrifiers fucking our city up, ruining us, fucking us up. Every homeowner is a fucking cocksucker in that community. You get a nigga that buy a house in your block, he promises you he ain't gonna have no dirty niggas move in, then he rents the fucking whole house out and flips it. It's all fucked up. You know, so any more questions? You got any questions, Green? Anybody got any questions about New York City and how New York radio ruined us? You know, go watch it. Go listen to that fucking, where's that? Let me see the morning show, that fucking goofy bastard. What's his name? Goofy ass nigga. Hot 97 morning show. Yeah, these niggas is clowns, man.
So Cam Newton, Lily London on Cam's podcast. From Fridays.
And it's the crazy part is that morning shows now are going to get all the information from the, oh God, it's painful. Do you know, let me put y'all onto something before I tell you this. Do you know you could do your own morning show? Did y'all know that on YouTube you could do your own daily morning show? You don't have to pay the whole record because, you know, they may take it off because you can't do that, but you still can do a radio show and just have a good time. Calling niggas in, playing pranks. Eric says, shout out to Eric, what is your thoughts on the mayor tearing down the projects of new buildings up? To put new, well, there's no such thing. You can't tear down a housing project, so don't believe that. It's a lie. You can't tear down a government project. No mayor can do that. So that's not true. There hasn't been a housing project in New York City that's been torn down. It gets rebuilt. They tear it down and rebuild it to the same project. But they call it's called a renovation. You got to remember, housing in parks, state parks, you can't build on. So no matter how much dangerous the housing project is, if there's multi-million-dollar fucking apartments across the street, it's just multi-million-dollar. I could show you a lot of those in New York. We could go right downtown Brooklyn and Dumbo. I'll show you Farragut Projects is right around the corner from Busta Rhymes building. You know? Those are the projects of Busta Rhymes' apartment is 15, 20 grand a month. You know what I mean? But you can't do nothing with housing project. Can't tear that down. Any housing project in New York City that's been built will never be condemned. It just gets rebuilt. You can't build on parks. So if you got a house in Staten Island or Queens and there's state park across the street, a developer can't do nothing there. Can't do a fucking thing. Nope. Can't touch it. It's illegal. That's just for natural wildlife. Deers, foxes, whatever's running through that shit, that stay home. Can't touch it. So if you ever move up here and you want to avoid seeing, hey, maybe you should have moved not too far from a housing project because you can't worry about a developer. Developers cannot do shit with a housing project. So that mayor can't do a fucking thing about it. He's lying. January says, this is random, but Clifton Powell responded to that interview. I think he's from New York. He responded to the interview to me? Because from this day on, I'm just going, if I got to talk to Clifton, I'm going to make a video and put Clifton's name in there on the title. Let me know if he said to me. We can see, can Nate be saved? Can it be saved? No. No. And that is a great question. New York City cannot be saved because it's history now. We just haven't accepted it. We are in denial. It's no longer the Big Apple. It's no longer, what it was known to be, the fashion foundation, the financial, you know what I mean? All that shit got fucked up in the last 25 years. You know? No corporate office wants to have a fucking corporate office here because the last time they did that in the World Trade Center, they fucking bombed it. Right? So we was the financial capital of the world. We still are to a degree, but remember we living in the internet world, so a nigga could run a Fortune 500 company from New York from fucking Idaho. You know what I'm saying? I think 50, Kareem said, I think 50 is part of the ruining too. He is. He is. You're right about that. He is, Kareem. He's part of it. 50 is part of that shit because he came in fucking with Murder Inc., getting all them niggas locked up, and 50 fucked the game up. But he reinvented himself. Now he's able to be a troll and people love him. He reinvented himself without getting a podcast. Remember, 50 had This Is 50 on YouTube a long time ago, and that shit went nowhere. Long time. We talking like 15 years ago. He been had what would be called today as a podcast. It's called thisis50.com. But that shit is old. It died. But you're right about that. January says, not to you, another channel. So he responded to that. Yeah, but see, that's the thing about Clifton Powell. You can't, those OGs like Clifton exist. They are, clearly, they're still here, thank God, right? But you can't put yourself in a you can't talk to, I don't, like, in other words, if I had a millennial work with me, they're gonna be under my control. They have to be, because if I can't control them, then it's useless, right? So he was in that room with all these niggas and they was ready to attack him. So he lost it. He can't go back from that. The same as when they asked, can New York regret? Well, again, it's hard to bring back what's gone, right? So if you're no longer what it was, then it is what it is, right? He started bullying your way to the game too. Well, remember, he bullied his way into the game because they didn't let him in the first time. So he went after Ja. He went after a Queens nigga that was in his hood. And 50 is a dirty motherfucker, but everybody jumps on his dick like he's a genius. Really not a genius, but 50 is in a dangerous position. That's why he walks. See, this is the problem with 50. That's why Charlemagne chill, because Charlemagne didn't want to get murdered. 50's security detail has never decreased. He still rides around in a fucking heavy security in a bulletproof Escalade. Because he got a lot of niggas fucked up. And niggas want to kill him. So that's not the way to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, who want to live like that? When you're a troll, nigga, you can't walk the street. There's going to be somebody that's going to kill you. Like, you talking political shit now. Niggas will kill you over that. If I was huge and big and I was, there's going to be black men that don't like me, you can't just walk the street like, you know what I mean? If I was on that level, you know what I'm saying? When he came the game, he was only beef with New York rappers. Yes, but he doesn't just beef with New York rappers now. He just beef with anybody that's black. He don't give a fuck who you are. They say 50 is working with the police. Nah, nobody's working with the police. We all working with I'm working with the police if that's the case, because to have a podcast is information. So that ain't true. The police could use him as a source. All they got to do is go to his Instagram. So we all police if that's the degree, but that ain't true. 50 Cent is a troll. That's what he is. He's a professional troll. He gets paid for it. He put out that Diddy documentary, nigga. They didn't take it down. He waited for that nigga to get sentenced and he put it out. He's a dirty motherfucker. But nobody know how to get him back. See, back in the days, New York, if this had been in the street, 50 would have been dead a long time ago. That's why they shot him, because he's a dirt bomb. You would think 50 got shot. Now, yeah, see, I just said that. 50 is in a bulletproof, armored fucking vehicle everywhere he goes. Like, who's getting to that nigga? You got to shoot a cop to get to that nigga. It's been like that since he been out. So he, you know what I mean? He got a more of a damn armored security than Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Beyonce don't ride around in armored trucks. 50 rides around in an armored truck. He has to. He's a troll. Charlamagne's a troll too, but Charlamagne calmed down. He started, he got a mental illness from doing that shit because he got a lot of anxiety built from that. It's fucked up. But now we got all these fucked up niggas that got anxiety issues. The greats are leaving. DMX would have been a great historian of hip hop. He would have been great to interview, but look at an old interview of DMX on the Breakfast Club. Those were good interviews. Oh, wow. Shout out to the great. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat, man. She just put $50, man, in the bank, man. And I sacrificed a lot of things here, man. I know, shout out to Obi-Wan Steph. He really wanted me to do this. And I had to get into a zone with it because it's hard for me to talk about this, you know what I mean? Me living here, and it's not fun no more. You know what I mean? When I sat into that oil change spot today, you're just around people. Everybody want to be black, but nobody want to be black. It's corny to me. You got everybody now wanting to be us, but they don't want to. They don't want to be us. You know what I mean? They don't want to be living there, but they want to be us. So it's keep things simple. Just keep things simple, man. Just keep things simple in life. It just goes so much further now. Like, what makes me happy on a landscape issue, tonight was gonna make me happy, getting home, sitting down having dinner with my wife and daughter and watching a Netflix movie. Like, ain't really nothing happening. And again, my man will call me up and be like, yo, nigga, you need to come outside. You need to come outside. And, but these hookah lounges, man, I can't do it. I'm gonna go in there, what? I don't want to get started on something that I know I ain't got no business doing. That's number one. Number two, I don't want to be in no hookah lounge when I could just be home. It's not 2003 anymore. It's not 93 anymore. It's not 83. It's a different time. It's 2026, and it's about just getting home. Cleaning up your crib, keeping things simple. If you got some good pussy at home, you know what I mean? Stick with it. Hold on to that shit. Like, ladies, if you got some good dick at home, I mean, that's cool. But if he ain't worth shit, don't hold on to it. Get another nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of shit. Like, I think that's you know what an awesome night would be if I was single, leaving this podcast, having a nice young lady come through here, sitting there sipping on some drinks, having a good old conversation, some good old fucking. That is extraordinary right now. That human interaction on that level is extraordinary. And as simple as that is, as highly accessible as it is, it's harder because the men fucked that up. The men ruined that game, ruined it. So it's hard. It's so hard. You tell a woman you love her and she's questioning, is everything okay? Like, everything now is because she's seen some shit that had her question what I said. Yo, it's just all fucked up. You could do that with the woman on some community shit and loving it. Next thing you know, you got to worry about if she said you raped her. So now I had to put cameras all in my fucking spot. A long time ago I did. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. It's so hard to come here, chill, let's just order food. That's dope, but what happens the next day? She sees some shit on the internet again and again and again, and now she doesn't want to do this anymore. You ain't do shit, and now she wigged out, bugged out because she has a mental illness. That's the scary part. You don't know if these motherfuckers is crazy. But again, something that simple is, that's supreme. Like, you got that, and your man call you to go to a hookah lounge, you gonna be like, nigga, please. You know what I mean? I got this bad bitch here, we chilling, 69ing, watching TV, eating good, sucking toes. Like, life right now, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta really, really, really make some shit. If I was to do a stream about telling men how to meet women, you know what I mean? I would have to show them. So how is that stream gonna get done? And then I'm not showing it. The way that has to get done, I need a cameraman. Y'all niggas gonna have to meet me, and we gotta do it. We gonna link 20 niggas up. Everybody gonna get linked up before this day is out, and I'm gonna do it. That, you know what I mean? Rather than telling you all this shit y'all need to do, because y'all not doing it, so something's wrong. So fortunately, you're gonna need a push because it ain't working. You know, the women out here want relationships. They want to be loved. They trying to get their attention. Niggas are scared to approach them. The game is all fucked up. So even in a city like mine, unless you lucky, there's some niggas out here that's still lucky though. Some niggas out here got a lot of situations moving for them, a lot of accessibility. They'll be fine, but you know what I mean? You don't need a lot. You just need something dope. And she could be from anywhere. Technology now brings us close. FaceTime her. She could be coming from Connecticut. She could tell you the GPS says the ETA will be 3 hours. You do a live stream for 3 hours and she walks in the door. That's a lit situation. You know? Thank you for fixing, because y'all see I broke my light. So this shit straight broke on me. Shit straight fucking broke. Some bullshit. Okay. It's working. It's working, ladies and gentlemen. God damn! Well, it's still broken. It's broken. It's still broken. I know. See, Green Vegan gonna be like, give me my $50 back. God damn it, motherfucker. Give me my shit back. Nah, she won't do that. That's my baby right there. She won't do that. Green Vegan is ride or die. You got a woman like this, fellas, you could travel the world with that. So you niggas are stupid. I'd rather travel the world with a woman that got my back. You ain't even gotta be fucking her. Just, yo, nigga, we going on this trip. You gonna have my back. You ain't gonna be my security, nigga. You just gonna be the eyes that I can't see from the back. She be like, okay, cool. I got you. See what I mean? Like, you niggas, like, that's the vacation you wanna be with. You wanna be with y'all niggas keep thinking about pussy, pussy, pussy. I said here what we do, but that's what you want to travel around with the person that got your back, because the person that got your back, she gonna constantly educate you. You know what I mean? So with the light cracked. There's a piece that's hanging off of this shit, but that happened from the fall. But, you know, it was a little weird. I ain't gonna lie, it was weird without doing this thing with the light, and I was talking to y'all and I didn't have that light behind me, but yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been real, man. I feel that the good Lord brought me here to make a change, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too whack now. You know what's happening? I don't know if y'all can feel this, but you ever feel like everything is just crumbling in your life? Like the people around you just getting worse and worse and worse? Right, that is true. But then you gotta think about the people that are here. The Green Vegans, you know what I'm saying? You got the J, 2004, you got the Kareems, you got the Januaries, you got the Kent Thompsons, you got the Ken. You got to concentrate on them. Those are the ones that's going to hold you down. Because when they see a light break, they're going to say, yo, take this $50, nigga. Go get another one. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to B&H this week and get another light just because. Right? So we keep seeing the same thing. It's like people just you can't trust nobody. Niggas is doing the same bullshit. Niggas is moving different. And it's just like, yo, but we need a change. There has to be a different. It's not about bringing it like it used to be or bringing about the way it was. It's about embracing what's going to change. Now I'm worried now. You got this war going on. You got all these fucking terrorists around New York. Mass shootings and shit. The more and more the fucking news keeps talking about this shit, people keep thinking. So where my thing is, and this is not a goal that I'm sharing, it's just the reality, but we just need something else. I watched this sensational movie yesterday, and it was about this woman that was getting stalked from this guy, and they're going through the forest, and it was just dope. And I'm like, that was a good film. And good films inspire me, right? So, so I am clumsy. There's no question. My side of the family, terrible. But, you know, in my studio, for example, right, this studio needs to be lit a lot more. I got a bar here. I got a new couch. I got my sound pads that's still off the wall. They got to be glued. I got a new system. Like, this shit could be its own thing. You know, and not even with me talking, but I know a lot of y'all like, we don't want to watch a podcast without you, but shit, I could be here. I got 4 microphones here. And you know what I mean? I feel that we gotta embrace what we got. So we got all this. I got 3 more microphones that I could fill in. We need to be doing more things. So that part of New York is dope. You come here, yes, the vibe is gonna be different because you visited me, but I still urge you to still go out and do your little, you know, how they call it, tourism and shit elsewhere. I don't want to be a tourism guy, but I still can educate you on New York City to the best of my ability, you know, and anybody else that have what I got, hey, let's hear from you, you know, because we can educate each other. But right now, ain't really nothing happening. You know what I mean? We just using these phones and we just goofing along and just kind of waiting for the bad news, for something bad to happen. And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Kara. What up, Kara? What up, baby? What film was it? Let me see. There was a film. Damn, it was on Netflix. Well, you remember the algorithm for Netflix now gives me all these action-packed movies, right? Oh, man. Let me see if I can see it. This fucking movie was really good. I liked it. I love movies in the forest. I don't know what it is. So my algorithm is strictly action-packed thrillers. So thank God. When I go there, they're going to give me a whole shitload of movies to watch. My wife been watching shits with me. We've been enjoying ourselves. Oh, man. I can't find it. You know how you go back in the page and you try to I can't find it. But it was funny. This girl, the guy was following her. The guy looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. Incredible character. Big, strong, nerdy looking nigga. This fucking movie was dope. It was on Netflix. Good acting. I like that. Shit like that, I'm like, well, I wish I could do that. So movies still matter. That still works. But we don't have movie theaters no more. They closed that shit down. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's a difference, you know what I mean? So, you know, I guess that's pretty much it. So if you're asking, that's what's happening right now. So if you ever hear what's happening right now we going through a transition. It's a city, and that's why a lot of people are leaving now, because they're saying it's too expensive, so what's the point of them staying? You know? Try to find that shit. It was a dope-ass movie. It was about this girl. She was driving. She had a U-Haul trailer behind a Volvo station wagon. And it was this big old white dude. Like, he was in shape, but he liked Jeffrey. They had the Jeffrey Dahmer glass, big old mustache, 1970s hairdo. And this fucking dude, man, he was stalking her, man. He caught her. Yo, he punched her in the face when he caught her. I was surprised he showed that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, we had movies 20 years ago, man. Shit was still good, but it's hitting now. It's like a delayed reaction. So y'all see, they're building our community up, and I'm like, they're building your neighborhood up or your community. It's a big fucking difference. Community, you're gonna feel the flourishing, but if they building your neighborhood up, that ain't gonna benefit you. It's a neighborhood, right? Yeah, try to find that shit. The shit was dope. No sex in the movie either, but there's a lot of shit I be watching now because I feel that all these movies, like our black movies, they don't show action-packed movies. Even if the movie's to deal with a stalker and he's chasing a woman, I like shit like that. Or the woman's chasing the guy, you know? I love cheating movies. I like movies that women cheat. You know what I'm saying? I just love movies that women that cheat. I love it. It's just the fucking greatest movies. Like, there was a great movie that was out years ago where the guy lived upstate New York and remember she was fucking with this artist, the white woman, she was fucking with this artist, and one day she had a fight with him and the husband came in, he hit him in the head and killed him by accident. He didn't meant to kill him, but fantastic movie. And he killed the side piece, the wife's side piece. Like, but see, Tyler Perry, he's different. He always makes the men look bad, you know. I like to make the women look bad, but I like the man to look bad because men look worse when a woman cheats on them. But see, Tyler Perry's always like trying to make the cheating man, the down low man. Nah, that's corny. I like seeing the cheating woman because the man looks worse when he got a cheating wife. He said, have you ever seen the one before? But this is the problem with me. Alimony, listen to me. This is my issue. I'm terrible with titles. I'm horrible with titles. I just seen this movie last night and I completely forgot the name of the fucking title, you know what I'm saying? But on a positive note, I'm really good with rating movies. I think I'm really good with that, right? So when I see a Tubi movie that's low level, it makes me feel low vibrational, you know what I mean? But now I can't think of a film to produce, but when I see good films, it challenges me. So even that movie that Martin Lawrence had, when he had the crazy side bitch, remember the girl, the black woman remember that movie where he was dating that older woman and she was stalking him? I like shit like that, you know what I mean? I like crazy bitch movies and cheating woman movies. You know what I'm saying? Or gangster movies or movies at war, you know. I like action pack. I like hard, and then I like a little romance, you know what I mean? But comedies ain't nothing funny to me. Ain't nothing funny. Yeah. Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Thank you, Kareem. That was a fucking dope ass movie. I like that shit. I remember when Martin was like, listen, you crazy bitch. Like, she played that part, man. It's just dope. Community is listening to the tenants upstairs, like the kids playing and they cooking, like, oh man. So my neighbors that's leaving now, man, they were fucking trash. You know, if I wasn't with my wife, I would have fucked his wife. If I was the old person I would have fucked his wife. I would have felt better, you know. But we struggled with them, man, for years. It would just we tried to bring the community thing in, but she was a panderer. You know, when she wasn't happy, she'd come talk to me. But what's the point of talking to me? I can't stick my dick in her mouth, so that was a waste. So I kind of want them to leave. I want them. I'm done already with them. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that nigga just get the fuck out now because they wasted a lot of time. And 15 years is a long time. Just get it. Just give me the new people that's buying a house, man. Let's just get it on. Like, Let's lay down the rules. Let's see, the park who's going to block this, who's going to block that, who's going to have a problem with loud music, and you know what I mean? Because, hopefully God can bless me with a community neighbor. But it's probably going to be a resident like we were stuck with for the past 15 years. And that's shit. So I don't want to see that nigga, man. The motherfucker asked me, told me that he's having an open house. He's telling us the day of, so that's what you call a dirty motherfucker. That's a motherfucker that turned his back on you. So I dealt with that enough. That's why I'm telling about how people are changing right now. I dealt with that enough. I don't want to deal with that. If they will only have one car. Well, my other car's in front of their house, but it's just what it is. No, this community out here, Ken. There's definitely community out here, but it depends where. Like every block is different. So some blocks are lucky than others. Most of them ain't community. It's just a block. It's just a neighborhood. Some is a hood, but community, these people I really don't have to see because where my crib is positioned, I really don't got to see these motherfuckers. Summertime I do, but I don't have to really see them, and I don't want to see them. But if they're community people coming in, yes, you know what I mean? People that really care, people that's like, listen, your lights is on, if we're having something at the house, you're more than welcome to bring your daughter. We didn't get that from this motherfucker. And that's just it. If we have another blizzard, I'm not gonna shovel up my house, I ain't gonna shovel his. I'm just gonna leave the shit, fuck it. Because I feel that I told my wife the whole time I never liked them. And that's what bothered me the most because I went against my word. I went against what I feel. When I don't like a motherfucker, I don't like you. That never changes. He said, you can talk about it, but you need to blow the snow. Yeah, I said, that's snow. But when you got a snow blow, you be wanting to help neighbors. Like, hey, you need help? But you got to watch that. Gotta watch that, because if you don't like a nigga and you do his fucking damn walkway, then you fucked up. I don't fuck with you, man. I remember that day when I did it. I should have never did it. He's a snake. Nigga, we was in that storm last week. He knew he was fucking moving. He think he was say, yo, man, just want to let you know what I'm saying. Nigga told me the day of and tell me that they have an open house because there's going to be people outside. I said, yeah, I knew that was coming. I should have said, I knew it was coming, you fucking snake. But I like his wife as a person, so I knew she controls him, so fuck him. I hope she cheating on his ass. But I'm done with them. Just get the fuck out. Like I just want that day when they move out, make sure me and my wife and daughter get the fuck out, do what we got to do for the day, and just get the process on, get out of here. The nigga hit me with, yo, we out, man, you take care, and I'm just gonna block his fucking number, tell nigga to eat a dick. Don't speak to me. What'd he do? Community. Okay, so listen to this, right? If you as a person, you and your neighbor, your neighbors, right? So your neighbors are community neighbors, at least that's what you think. And y'all cool, y'all talk, everything, they tell you what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, these niggas tell you, then you wake up the next day, they just move. Nothing, just no, that's fucked up. I wouldn't do that. You don't just get up and fucking leave, nigga. And the way, remember, they stuck in the house. So he only told us because he had to, because he know niggas is going to be busy around my crib. And I don't like new homeowners because somebody blocking the driveway. I don't want to be the dickhead that got to leave a car outside, make things hard for people. I just don't want to be around for that. So from 12 to 4 o'clock, you just got to just handle it for the 2 days. And, now I got all this week now and just got to just dodge that nigga. Fuck him. I come out my car with my fucking headphones on I don't want to deal with the nigga. The nigga's a fucking shithole. I don't like shit like that. You know what I mean? So all along, what I'm saying is he wasn't a community nigga. He was all along, he was a fucking resident. And I slipped. He said, oh, what made me not like him? I don't know. I think because when his wife first came there, I remember how she opened the window, was like, hey, we're the new neighbors. And I remember he tried to like shadow her down. I think she was jealous because with me. You know what I mean? That was one. But something about the nigga, like something, he was just like something about him I can't really explain it. I kept telling my wife, I said, something about that nigga I don't like. I don't know what it is. And I tried. Lord knows I tried. Lord knows I tried. He wasn't a bad neighbor. He just was a guy that you rather talk to his wife. You know what I mean? He come along, you don't want to talk to him. He's like the guy where you like, that's not my cup of tea. My brother-in-law, he's a weirdo nigga. He could deal with him, but I don't like something about the nigga I ain't like. And I just felt it in my spirit. And then that's when he hit me up with that thing, he said, you know, oh, we're selling the house, you know, just like that, nigga. Why you ain't tell me that when I had that damn snow machine in front of your house last Sunday in that fucking blizzard? We was outside for 2-3 hours. He ain't say shit. See, the sneaky motherfuckers like that make you hate people. So the new people that come in, you know, now you gotta think about, hopefully ain't a nigga that's gonna rent the house out and put some crazy oh man. Lord, please bless me. You listen, with neighbors, you know what you got, you don't know what you're getting. You know what I mean? And the good thing about where I'm at, I don't really have to be on that side of the spot, but you know, I got enough cars to just keep the shit in the street and block my own driveway. So, I mean, again, it's not that serious because they're not really, really part of that situation, but I try to do the right thing. And that's why I don't like people to tell me to do what I do. And I'm like, no, nigga, let me do what I do. If I don't feel it, nigga, don't fucking tell me what to do. And that's what when I want to get, I had a few family members that pushed me to be a little nicer and, you know, nigga had my number. I wish he had my fucking number. You know, he has access. You live that close, nigga, you should just be able to knock on the door, not text me. I don't give a fuck if it is an emergency, you know what I mean? You live that close, nigga, we community. You supposed to knock on the door, nigga, hit the ring bell. We got a new life now. Yo, just hit the ring bell, nigga. You know what I mean? I thought he was one of the types to just start trying to complain. No. He's a good neighbor where if you got a neighbor next door and they harmless, yeah, he's harmless on that level. He ain't fucked up, but he's just a dick. You know, something happened to him, you gonna want to fuck his wife. He's one of those. His wife is nice. But he's an impact, you know, she runs him. Yeah, neighbors, man, I'm big on neighbors, right? Right, Greenvik, I'm big on neighbors because neighbors, you know, it's part of the 10 Commandments. Honor thy father and thy mother, your days shall be longer. Honor thy neighbor, I do. But if my neighbor is community, I honor them. And if my neighbor is resident, I have to think of it because what would God want me to do? There's neighbors here I never spoke to, but my mother had to say, listen, they watch out for you when you're not around. And I had to listen to that, like, you know what, she's right. So when you try to do the right thing and shit go left or you're disappointed, you have the right to feel what you feel, you know what I mean? And anybody that knows me, they will get it, you know? But again, you know, God is removing them for a reason. So let me just embrace what's going to happen tomorrow than today. So the process now of the open, I hope somebody's put a bid in there. I hope they sold the motherfucker. I would assume they sold it this weekend, but are we going to do this again next weekend? We're going to do like, you know what I mean? Open house is a bitch because open house, you got a lot of traffic around the house. You know what I'm saying? And you know, every now and then you may have the person blocking the driveway. Say, excuse me, can you move the driveway? And the motherfucker's like, oh, wait a minute. Now it's just really about that. So I gotta just be focused and just embrace. But him, they could get the fuck out. You know, shout out to his two daughters. His two daughters is dope. But he was always, he was like I said, maybe it's because I liked his wife. Maybe I'm guilty to that. Maybe I just kind of liked his wife. I didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? We had a different connection, but that connection, you know, you don't have nothing in common with a nigga when y'all talk about the weather. The snow, and they say it's going to do this again next week, and it's just like, oh, it's too much, and the cold, it's hot, you know. It's hard for men to have a connection. It's so hard, you know. When I was in an oil change spot today, you have men walking, weirdo motherfuckers, and men follow me everywhere I go. Like I'm in the cut by myself, chilling, and then the guy wants to see us sitting next to me. He's playing with his phone. Niggas don't know how to talk conjugate. How you doing, brother, man? Keep it up. You know what I mean? It's just like weirdo after weirdo. We get a woman walking in there with a dog. She got a cute little ass on her that my man ended up fucking her, he told me. So it's just, I'm around men. When I came into the spot, my man was talking to 2 grease monkeys. And I'm like, I don't know these 2 Staten Island niggas. I ain't fucking talking to them. I gave them a pen. I kept them moving. I don't know them. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, we as black men, we around residents. So community is love. There's no love in a resident. Like, just a resident, nigga. He's a resident of the building, a resident of the restaurant, you know what I'm saying? But community, that's not, man, that's my neighbor. That's fam, you know what I mean? He represents our community, you know? With residents, is nothing but a neighborhood. So New York used to be big on that. Black and Puerto Ricans came up together. Now they divided, you know what I'm saying? Blacks and whites came together, now we divided. It's all fucked up. From an internet troll, a fucking one fucked up mayor, one fucked up president. That's crazy to me. So if that person got that much effect, you know, some of y'all got fucked up wives, fucked up husbands, like, you know, you destroy communities that way. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The wife and daughters is dope. And again, don't get it fucked up. Like, the wife, I'm not gonna say she's just as much, but believe me, if she was one-on-one with me, she would have told me that they was moving. She would have said, you know we moving. You know what I mean? But this pussy was in my face with my fucking snow machine, 3 feet of snow, and he was next to me on few occasions. I even cleaned his walkway, his sidewalk. You know what I mean? And not one fucking time did he say, yo, next week we about to have, he said, you know, niggas that move like that, well, people move in silence. Nah, nigga, that's shady. You don't want to be around people like that. You know what I mean? I'm almost ready to tell him, but I don't want to give him the satisfaction because he's leaving. You know what I mean? But when that nigga leave and he hit me like, oh man, we out, man. He ain't gonna say, yo, we need to hang out, come by the new place. Nigga, we ain't been to the old place. What the fuck? So, you know what I mean? I was the cocky neighbor that wasn't fucking with them, and my wife was like, don't do that. But she knows how I am, so I'm like, then I started telling her recently, I said something about that nigga has shown up. I kept saying that all week. I said, I don't know what it is about that nigga. Something I ain't feeling with. I can't kick it out. And then boom, text me and tell me, oh, there's an open house today. There's gonna be a lot of people around your house, but I'm just letting you know because, you know, we're selling the house. I said, well, I knew that because I didn't want to say his wife told me, but she did say she wasn't happy there. She wanted to move to Jersey. She was tired of New York. She's tired of the weather. So wherever they moving, I'm not surprised of her. It's him. It's how he did it. It's not what he did. It's how he fucking did it. You know? So community is about community, man. Whether you live in a building, whether you live in a projects, whether you live in a fucking ghetto, community, nigga. If you got people that you love you and neighbors that will ride or die for you, that's dope. You know, I got a community here. This is community. These people, you know what I mean? These people love me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a fact. No, she really had an issue with, she didn't have a problem with the Verrazano. She was remote. She ain't like one of the neighbors across the street. There was a little ghetto. She just wasn't happy in the house, man. I know that. I know that for a fact because she poured her heart to me a few occasions. So I knew that was coming because she put it out. He didn't. It's her. She's the boss, not him. So I knew that it was coming. That's why I said to him, I knew this was coming. So he probably ain't know what I meant because he ain't never fucking tell me. But you can't have niggas that's gonna be secretive, nigga. We can't have community with niggas with all that secret shit. That's just corny, man. Nigga, like, it's okay to say, yo, bro, we going away for a couple of weeks. Watch out for the house. That's community. But if you just leaving and you leave your shit there, you don't fuck with your neighbor, and I see somebody robbing your shit, I'm like, we don't fuck with that nigga. So let whoever's doing whatever they do, let them do what they do. But if we fuck with a nigga, yo, fam, but you ain't even got to do that now because everybody got cameras. But you understand what I'm saying? That's what it should be. Like, yo, bro, there's this weird dude at your door. You know, one time, one thing happened. One day, he had a garden over there, and the fucking weed whacker had a rock, and it broke my fucking window. right? And I remembered, I was like, yo, he told me, I said, yo, your guy broke my shit. He should have said, the guy wasn't trying to pay for it. He tried to deny. I seen the shit on the camera. He should have said, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about that, bro. How much is the window? I'll pay for that shit. Because it was his fucking fault. Again, if my grass guy used a weed whacker and to hit a rock and the rock hit your window and broke your shit and you my motherfucking neighbor and you approach my gardener and they tell you they ain't paying for shit, they didn't do it, I'm gonna be like, yo, I got it. Cause they're there on my account. I paid for that shit. Listen, what could we do about this? I'm gonna work the matter out. You know what I mean? It happened on my grounds. It was on his ground. He never did that, and I never liked that. So I felt that was funny. Another time he did some slick shit. My fucking gardener came over there, my gardener. The nigga went and got his number. After his fucking gardener broke my shit, they didn't want to come back. He gonna get the number of mine. Now, again, I'm trying to be cool because I know my old father would have told me how to deal with this. I thought that was shady because I could have just been like, yo, bro, why you ain't just ask me? You could have just asked me for the number, nigga. Don't ask them, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. And this was recent, you know what I mean? This is recently. I got the window fixed and all that out of my fucking pocket. So once we started having these bad snowstorms, I got this big machine, so I'm happy using it. And I just started extending it a little, 10 more feet and hit their little walkway. I can hear my father now, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. He ain't paying you for that. He shouldn't have did a fucking thing. Because he's a resident. But if he's community, he would have told me, nah, do his walkway. You get what I'm saying? So these are the movements you got to think about with people. This is how shit. But again, his wife, she's a total. Now don't get it twisted. I used to do his walkways, and he would always send me, brother, thank you. He did my shit to him. I ain't gonna forget that. But this last week, he knew he was moving. I'm gonna tell you what he did. So last Monday, we had the big snowstorm, 3 feet of snow. He was out there shoveling. I hit the nigga shit when I finished mine. He not one time said thank you. He ain't even text me like, yo, big bro, good looking out on that. You know why? Because he know he was moving. So he was parking a car weird this week, like an attitude, like he did some funny shit, like I moved the snow in front of my cars on the street. He put his car in front of mine. He never does that 3 days consecutively, right? So I was like, that was weird. I kept saying, I said, something about that nigga, man. He be getting on his bitch shit. Sure enough, less than a week later, that motherfucker hit me and said, yo, they leaving. They selling the house. They having an open house today. So he knew he had to have an open house. Let me tell you what an open house is. An open house is when you hired a realtor. That means you did all the pictures already. The house is on the fucking market. And now they're going to bring in clients to look at the house to see if there are any potential buyers. So they come in, he tells like probably 20 people to come through. They pull up, walk around the house. You don't have to be there. The realtor has the key. They show around a furnished house. It has this, boom, boom, boom. He knew he was doing that. So all along, we was cleaning the house up with the snow. When my snow guy was there the other day, he came out and was like, oh, could I shovel this, whatever? So my little man was out there, like, yo, you work for Corey, right? I wasn't around, so he asked my little man, could he help, whatever, could he help with him? Then I realized, I said, you were just cleaning the fucking house because you knew you was having that damn open house this weekend. You probably was going to have it last weekend, but the blizzard came. You feel what I'm saying? So when people move like that, yeah, I know, and again, that's why I feel duped, because I'm like, fuck, I knew it. I'm mad at myself for that. Not mad at what happened. I'm mad that I knew better. I knew better. So when you know better, you know better. When you knew better, you know better. So, you know what I mean? Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen again to somebody else. It won't happen with him. You know what I mean? But, you know, the good Lord works in mysterious ways. So rejection is God's protection. So let him go. Let them go, you know what I mean? And on a positive note, on his wife, I'm actually happy. For some strange reason, I'm actually happy for her because I knew She talked to me and I said, listen, I wouldn't sell the house. I would just move. I encourage her to fucking move. Like, rent it out. I wouldn't sell it. Like, why would you sell it? You got all this equity. You could be building this shit up. But typical nigga, you know how some niggas is stupid, so, you know, his dumb ass gonna sell the fucking house because he's seen the shit made some money, and they gonna go put their house into another debt, which is dumb to me. But again, that's my point. I was like, listen, you can make an income into this shit, because she was coming to me. And my wife was like, you know, she only come around you when her hair's done. And she made a point, but I ain't gonna lie, she right about that. Because when she be having that bobblehead fucking do, it be looking fucked up. But when she have her shit all braided, she be looking all, you know, Amazon-ish and shit all yummy. You know what I mean? And again, you know, when she knows that he ain't around, she talks to me different. You know what I mean? You know how that goes. She don't see my wife, she don't see me. She talks like, oh, and then the people next door, and then the one over here, and then another one. So I was like, she gonna be leaving. I said that. I swear to goodness, I said that. I said, she's gonna. So when he said that text to me, it was almost like her text to me, you know what I mean? But that's pretty much it, man. But you know, you live and you learn, man, and that's what life is. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real man. I love you all, man. Have a safe one, and it's been real, man. So again, I'm a New York historian within my age group, within my timeline, within my generation. If there's anything you need to know about the New York City, every borough, because I know every borough left and right, I know how to get through every borough with no navigation needed. Staten Island, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, it don't matter. I could tell you what was here before, which is a lot of that. Because there's a whole bunch of, I remember the Bronx looked like shit. Now it's fucking rebuilt. But if you ever wanted to move here, like I said, the money's here. There's no question about it. You know, everybody makes $100,000 here. So, in other words, I'm just being sarcastic. But you know what I mean? The money's here. No matter what you do, you're gonna make the money. I don't give a fuck if you're picking up cans. You're gonna be picking up cans and recycled bottles. You're gonna make the money here. The money's here. But stop watching these podcasts that you see in New York and say, yo, Nate, don't, you know what I mean? Don't talk to me about none of these fucking goofy ass niggas. Like, none of them do it. Because the niggas that's doing it got channels that's got like 2 followers. And those are the better channels, you know? When they go down memory lane and breaking down shit that I never knew about, like, wow, these motherfuckers is older niggas, these niggas are break. Those are the things you want to listen to. But how you going to listen to it if you don't know it? If, you know, Jim Jones and them was talking about the latest Jordans. It's we're beyond that. And the radio shit here is terrible. You know, everybody. New York radio sucks. Only time New York radio is good on WBLS at 10 o'clock when the Quiet Storm comes on. That's it. But otherwise, it's trash. So, if you listen to the satellite radio, you got the same station I got. So it's the same shit. That sucks too, because that's, you know what I mean? Even if they have offices here in New York, they're speaking over there. It's just combobulated. But I think more creators need to start getting on that and start thinking of doing a morning show within the city. You know, whether we got some shit in ATL, Memphis, Atlanta, Houston, whatever, you know, wherever you at. We need to see how y'all turn up out there and hear your lingo and where the places they eat. And when you remember so-and-so, this high school y'all went to, this public school, like, talk to me in a way where I get lost. I like to get lost. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Build community, not residents. Much love. And if your neighbors are cocksuckers because they're not community-based, I mean, fuck them all. So, much love, man. I love my city. We took a dump. It ain't the same. A lot of shit is washed away. Washed up, as y'all call it, you know what I mean? Y'all come in Park Hill, y'all want to see what Wu-Tang is at. I'm like, it's dead out there. You know what I'm saying? I could show you a graffiti wall. I could show you where all them niggas used to sell drugs, but none of these niggas live here anymore. And if they do live there anymore, then, you know what I mean? It's really nothing to tell. But you're better off talking to somebody that does live there that's still able to give you the history. You want to interview them. Don't want to interview Meth and keep asking them about, hey, you know, tell us about your workout and corny shit like that. Like, Method Man lives in Huguenot, Staten Island, in a white area playing video games all day. You know, I'm not blowing up where he lives per se, but he doesn't live in the same section that he was, you know, that represented Wu-Tang Clan. None of them niggas do. U-God don't live there. Raekwon, they all live in Jersey. Method Man's the only ones that lives out here. Him and Redman. So ain't nothing really happening. So that's why they doing podcasts, because they're fucking bored, you know? So the Big Apple, yes, it doesn't sleep. You could go to stores all night. You could go to a mall all night, but that about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, on the South Side. Well, you're on the South Shore, not the South Side. The South Shore, Kenneth. South Shore, that's the cracker area. That's where I work. But goddamn, ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Have a good night. Class is dismissed. Peace.